And we on. Salute fam, what's happening? I see Fallout in the building. I ain't gonna be long. Let me share this video, y'all. Give me a second. We'll get up in here and talk about the schedule and shit. Let me share the video. Salute. Salute Fallout TV. I mean Flat Out TV. Salute fam, what's happening? Social scientists in the building. What's good, fam? Yeah, we on. I put the link up in there. You want to jump on? Uh, One Way Wednesday. What's happening, fam? Go to Trey Weather in the building. If y'all can hit that link, just give me a second. Let me do my little routine. Ain't nobody else on, so I'm just gonna try to get it out the way. But I posted this week fight schedule on the community tab. If y'all get in the fantasy league, it's 10 fights on there. Fury is probably the biggest fight that's on there this year. And things. Jay Fuller, salute, man. You Cole, salute, bro. What's happening? Keep jumping back and forth so I can see. I won't get pausing too long. You know what I'm saying? Give me 1 second, y'all. D-Lo in the building, salute. I got the link pinned up in the chat if y'all want to jump on. Be cool. Somebody jump on, hold it down for me while I share the video. All right, I'm done. Yeah, I'm about to get into it, man. I wanted to talk about the future potential undisputed fight. Hold on. Yeah, I wanted to talk about this future undisputed matchup that we got up on the man in the welterweight division, and I wanted to talk about the one we got at the 54, and and the aftermath. Gil Cole said Bud might need to get hurt, like my boy Keith, and go running missing, huh? Man, it's taking me a minute to put together this video, but I got something to show y'all, man. After one of them fights, Earl put a display out, and it looked like PBC did it on purpose, man. They put Keith Thurman on blast, and the look on Keith Thurman's face after Earl beat the brakes off this cat told it all. Definitely said that he didn't want no parts of Earl. And I got it too. I already clipped it up and everything. All my edits done. I just got to do my vocals and put them all together and shit. It just take a minute though to put together these kind of videos that I be liking to do, y'all. They're supposed to be together before the damn fight. Eric Cooper, salute, fam. But yeah, man. I don't know if y'all busy, man, but y'all definitely chop it up with your boy. Last shall be first. Is that you, Dilo? Dilo. Look at this guy. I like your thumbnail. That was you. It's just boxing. Salute, fam. Yeah, man, if anybody wants to jump on and join the conversation, man, especially if y'all fam, we ain't doing no new strangers or anything like that. But y'all definitely can jump on and voice your opinion and shit. That's what we do these Monday lives, folks. But Rod X the champ in the building. It's just boxing. Salute. Okay, Dilo, I got you. Whenever you ready, jump back on. But yeah, I'm gonna start off with this week fight card, man. It ain't really no good fight cards. It's 10 fight cards, so the only one I really wanted to pick and just make sure y'all know that the schedule up there. But the only one I really wanted to talk about was the Dillian White Fury fight. And if y'all don't mind, let's get into that one first. Anybody want to get a take on it? And y'all prediction? What y'all want to say before the video?
Which one you just said, Marlo? What's up? Salute, y'all. Salute. What's going on?
Salute, bro. Oh, I was gonna start
Salute.
off with the Dillian White versus Tyson Fury because that's on the fight schedule this week.
Oh yeah, I ain't got no take on that.
Nah, okay. What about
Damn.
you?
Uh, yeah, I don't think White got too much for Fury. That's about all I got to say.
Yeah, I thought this. I ain't think the fight ain't even got no damn appeal to me. You know what I'm saying? It was kind of hard for me to even make a decision, but because of the war, the motherfucking war Fury went through with Wilder. I was thinking that Fury might be a little beat up and worn out from you know what I'm saying from that kind of those kind of fights. You know what I'm saying? He did take some punishment, man. He overcame the shit. It was a lot to overcome, and he did it. You know what I mean? But to be in there with a motherfucker that got nothing to lose, that hits hard, and a motherfucker like Dylan White that really want this shot, I think it might be kind of wicked the way this might end. But you know, I like to pick skills. You know what I'm saying? Over a motherfucker with just some type of grudge, and you know what I'm saying, and thirst to be in somebody else's shoes. So I'm definitely riding with Fury over Dylan White. I definitely pick skills over bronze, if you will. You know what I'm saying? That's why I had my take on it. But I mean, the car is not really like no lackluster car. But shit, I guess we can let's get into the aftermath though, man. Of what we had this weekend, then, since yeah, y'all ain't got no take on the other one, we can jump right into it. What was your take on the Earl Spence Ugas fight, man? Coming out the aftermath, basically what you saw and what you take out of that going into him calling out Earl Spence and what the potential fight that we might have coming up. What y'all think about that? Social scientist?
Uh, Man, the fight itself, I basically saw Earl do what he most often does to his opponents is just basically beat the man up. I mean, that's pretty much what he used his jab, do some combinations. I didn't see much coming back from Ugas. Even when Ugas staggered him, I know he only staggered him because Spence's mouthpiece fell out, and the man was looking for his mouthpiece and ended up getting hit. But I mean, I didn't even see Ugas jump on him then. It's like he was real tentative with his shots, man. Like he didn't want to get hurt. Like I guess whatever Earl was throwing at him was stinging him. So Earl just stalked him and beat him up. Almost same way he did Lamont Peterson, man. He does that to pretty much everybody. So I mean, it was nice to see him return to form actually. So I picked him in the 11th, end up getting stopped in the 10th. So I mean, I'm glad to see this Earl heading into an undisputed clash with Crawford. So that's my take on it.
What about you? Salute, Trey. What's good, bro?
Salute, salute. What's going down with y'all, man?
Shit.
Salute.
What's happening, man?
Yeah. Derek Bailey, salute. What's good, bro? J1 Pro in the building. Salute, bro. Yeah, we just chopping it up. Dilo, you want to get your take?
Yeah, man. Yeah. Um, I think one thing I liked about it, you know what I'm saying. I think the thing that really impressed me wasn't much of a shocker to me, with all things being considered, was Spence coming out there kind of with a sense of urgency to go ahead and establish who was the boss right away. I like that. I feel like he set the tempo. And not only did he set the tempo, once he said it, it was hard for the fight to take any other tenor. You know, it kind of just stayed going in the pattern in which he set, in the pace in which he set. And I think that the pacing of itself if nothing else would have been a problem for Ugas, that alone was too much for him. You know, I think that alone was you know what I'm saying, a lot for him to overcome, more than he could overcome. And then those Chris Hart shots. I mean, I'd like to have seen Errol's jab be a little more consistent, but I feel like it achieved the desired result. You know, one thing about a jab is it doesn't have to always land. You just got to keep throwing it. And I feel like him throwing the jab as much as he did set up a lot of other things, but it also kept Ugas from being able to get some things on track. So that was one thing that I came away really impressed about. Not going to belabor the point of him getting rocked, you know what I'm saying, in the fight, you know, here and there or whatever. I mean, that's boxing. You know what I'm saying? I'm more impressed, you know, like I told you, Marlo, you know, we done talked about this on the phone. You know, let me see a guy get rocked and let me see what he can do after he get rocked. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying it like that's the first time, like he's never been rocked, but it's good to know that even after the accident, Errol can still, you know, have some, you know what I'm saying, some shaky moments in a fight and just push it to the back of his mind and get right back to the task on hand and to the task at hand. And that's, you know what I'm saying, to me, that's the hallmarks of a true fighter. You know what I'm saying? Because you're going to face adversity in the ring at some point or another. And I feel like, you know what I'm saying, that shows the character and the fortitude that, you know, these fighters, certain fighters have. And Errol's no exception. I feel like all of that, you know, basically just, you know what I'm saying, it embodied who he is as a fighter. I came away very impressed. I didn't pick a stoppage, so I got to give him much respect for exceeding my expectation.
What about you, bro?
Well, shit, y'all already know. We called the fight on Saturday, so everybody pretty much know my opinion. But what stood out to me is that Ugas did have a Lamont Peterson type of style in this fight. I don't know why I didn't even recognize that coming into the fight. The way the guy stand in front of you all hunched over and squared up and shit. He open for body shots. He open for shots around the guard. And he open for all kind of shit if you know how to find the openings. You know what I'm saying? So it was just tailor made for Earl Spence. And I thought the jab actually was pretty good, man. I thought the way that Ugas started the fight off trying to win a jab war against Earl, I thought that was his first something that was gonna discourage him. You know what I'm saying? Because you ain't about to win no jab war against Earl. The man listed as I know they had it on the screen that Ugas had a inch and a half reach advantage, but looking at the shit in practice, it looked like, I mean, in action, it looked like Earl had the longer arms. So the man sitting up there trying to win a jab war, and like the jab wasn't just landing like 100, well, you know, like at the very highest, but you know, it's hard to land your jab when you're a southpaw going against an orthodox fighter. You know what I'm saying? Especially one that got some experience and stuff. So that wasn't really no surprise to me. But I still thought it was a major key into the fight, and I was saying that going in. You know what I'm saying? So he went out there and did what he had to do. I felt like I saw the old Earl Spence again, the fighter that I see go out there and beat the hell out of people, not just go out there and beat your own points. And I'm talking about somebody go out there and beat you down. And I took Earl by decision, but I still don't think it was a terrible pick. The fight went 10 rounds. Ugas didn't never get dropped or nothing like that. He wasn't getting knocked on his ass and stanky leg and all over the ring. He got hurt, of course, because he got beat up, but he was still pretty steady for the most part. He was just beat the fuck up and got his eye socket broken. I think that he still got action that going the distance in the future against some good fighters. Every fighter ain't gonna be like Earl, man, where he just all over you and won't give you a chance to breathe. You know what I'm saying? So I still don't think it was just a terrible pick. I gotta say this too, though, man. Hey, the corner showed up on their motherfucking ass on the Chin Ross. I was tied for third with Eric Carr. Gil Coles and King of the Kim folks were tied for fifth. You know what I'm saying? So we had 4 people in the top 8 if you just gonna count all the people. You know what I'm saying? Because we had people that was tied up and shit. So yeah, we can't even put a foot in their ass and start this shit off, man. Salute to everybody in the gym, man.
Yeah, Lil Rock, salute, fam. Yeah, I went into the fight nervous as a motherfucker and was watching the whole time nervous because Ugas was sitting back really just waiting on some hard, vicious, bad intention counter. I mean, he did come with the same Ugas style, wasn't nothing different that like he came with some other style. You know what I mean? And I didn't think he was gonna get knocked down because he was steady the whole time. He wasn't really getting caught off balance or nothing like that with clean shots. You know what I mean? Everything was flush. That's hence the damage to his eye. You know what I'm saying? He was linked over, taking some good solid uppercuts. Earl was starting with a jab, ending with a jab. That motherfucker was changing it up, hooking around and throwing lead hooks, landing them flush. Earl was doing all kinds of different shit up in there that had him beat up. And I was thinking that was some of the reason why he wasn't trying to push the issue, especially when he caught Earl trying to find that mouthpiece. You know what I'm saying? Which was a mistake. But shit, it showed told a lot about his condition and his motherfucking chin. He took it well. He looked kind of shook. As soon as he planted that front foot, he was right back in the game. You know what I'm saying? But it's just a lot of questions that was answered. You know what I'm saying? He ain't gonna be the same. Check, he is the same. His work output did not change. You know what I'm saying? Can he take a punch? Check. You know what I mean? He even took punches to the body. He even took punches to the chin throughout the fight, and then pushed back 3 times harder. I think that those was the questions that I had, and I thought that was answered. I thought he did a hell of a job, man. I thought he stopped the motherfucker. I don't think Uga's been stopped, have he? I don't think Uga's ever been stopped, and he stopped him.
Nah, that was the first time he was stopped.
Yep, and he stopped him off a layoff. You know what I'm saying? I thought that was impressive. You know what I'm saying? So that's a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? A lot of boxes checked for me with Earl. So like going into this fight, him calling out Crawford, we can get into that conversation. I I really can't wait to see it. I mean, I want to see how Crawford gonna measure up. His skills gonna measure up to the kind of skills that the kind of style that's gonna be put in front of him with all this pressure. You know what I'm saying? Working off the jab. I want to see if he's gonna try to take the jab away from Grill. If he fights southpaw, it's like very intriguing to see how would this fight start? How would it end? You know what I'm saying? Can't when it's gonna happen, motherfucker. Can't wait to happen. But that's what it's looking like we gonna have next. And shit, I just can't wait, man. What y'all think about this undisputed fight? What y'all see going into it? I mean, who would you favor going into the fight, especially after what we saw this week?
You already know who I favor. I got my boy Bud, but I think anybody facing Spence at 147 with him fighting like that is gonna be a task. So it's just gonna be interesting to see how Crawford figure this thing out. Cause Crawford, he been a smaller man ever since he moved up to 147. So he not finna run in there and beat Spence into submission. But I can see Spence trying to do it to him. But it's just gonna be interesting to see how he deal with it. Kind of like your assessment.
Yeah, yeah, that's cool. What you think about it though, Dilo? How would you break this down going into after everything you've seen, knowing that what to expect out of Spence? And how do you see this playing out? I know you got Bud, but break it down for us on how you see this fight, how it's looking to you.
I mean, I can't really break it down as a how I think the fight plays out. I've had different since the fight first, became a potential thing. I've had different ideas of how the fight could play out. And almost each time out, I see these guys fight, I kind of see it playing out a little different. So it's kind of one of those things where, man, both of these guys have a lot of versatility. So it's hard to say, okay, well, fighter A does this very well, and that's going to trouble fighter B. Fighter B does this well, it's going to trouble fighter A. I mean, man, I just think these guys are going to have to get in there, and what I'm saying, the styles are going to mesh well, but clash at the same time. And I just feel like what I'm saying, it may be something very small that determines the difference in that fight when they get to that point anyway. You know what I'm saying? Because I think about the Hearns Leonard fight, because that's the fight that a lot of people over the years has said this is our Hearns Leonard. You know what I'm saying? And if you think back and look back at that fight, you know what I'm saying? That fight had a lot of ebbs and flows. Of course, for the most part, Hearns was outboxing Leonard because Hearns, pretty much never got outboxed. You know what I'm saying? That he was just a great boxer that had serious power. And you know what I'm saying? It's just one of them things where even going in, if you go back and look at what people were saying about the fight, everybody had different ideas of how they thought the fight played out. The one thing that really stood out was they were leery of Hearns' power. But neither one of these guys, in my opinion, have, you know, that one thing that just stands out so much that you got to say, well, I just don't know how this guy's going to handle this thing right here. You know what I'm saying? They both got some things that I feel like going to trouble the other guy. But it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's not like when somebody's fighting Wilder, you just got like, man, I don't know how he's going to stay out of the way of that right hand for the whole fight and stuff like that. So, you know, as it gets closer, man, I'll have a more educated breakdown. Hopefully we'll get an announcement soon and a date and everything like that. And man, you know, we all need to, you know, go in the war room and really look at some film and really, you know, break this thing down, you know what I'm saying, on the academic level.
Yeah, most definitely. What about you, bro?
Shit, the way I see it, just off the top of my head, real quick, I see Crawford coming out orthodox to start the fight, and he gonna start losing because he ain't a great orthodox fighter. So he gonna start getting pieced up a little bit. Then he gonna break the glass and he gonna go southpaw. I think when he goes southpaw, he gonna start having some success. I saw some Earl Spence have a little trouble. I saw in the amateurs against southpaw Zam Kavoy, Sergey Sepiev, and also when he was 8-0, when he fought against that 16-0 guy, the African, the southpaw African that hurt Earl early in his career.
Larte,
Emmanuel Larte. So I think Crawford will probably have a little success, but Earl's still gonna be taking chinks out the armor though, because even when you have success against him, he gonna land something. He gonna hit you with a stiff jab. He gonna hit you with some body shots. He gonna be depositing something on you. We got the old Earl Spence again. This ain't Earl against Porter. This ain't Earl against Danny Garcia. This is a different guy. This is the old Earl Spence. That's what got me excited. And I believe in when he say that he wasn't doing the things that was necessary to keep him at the top. Like he wasn't doing that shit no more. And now he doing it again. And I think that you can clearly see a difference in this guy. So I think that monster is gonna be in there, even if Crawford having success. Earl gonna be landing something on his ass. And I think that shit is gonna add up on him over the fight. And Earl gonna break him down. I don't know if he'll stop him, but I think he got action at stopping him in like 11 rounds. I was gonna say something, but I don't want to give y'all no tips on the Chan Ross, you know. But you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I see something like that, man. Like I said, Crawford come out orthodox, he gonna be losing. He gonna go southpaw, then he gonna start having success. But even when he having success, Earl's still gonna be landing shit. He gonna be depositing jabs and body shots. And then I think that shit gonna add up on Crawford, kind of like Kell Brook. And I think Earl got action that get him out of there. Might even break his eye socket.
Hey, you ain't got to worry about giving me no tips. I ain't picking that nigga no way.
No, I'm talking about in general on the Chan Ross. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about in general, how you get 10 points instead of getting 5 is what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay, I feel you.
Strategic, you talking about? Hey,
Yeah.
but I see a little different. I do see something. Do see one guy possess something that the other guy don't. You know what I'm saying? And it can be said on both ends. I mean, I see Bud is a sharp, slick ass counter puncher, but it's his timing that make him underrated. You know what I'm saying? The guy got clean timing. You know what I'm saying? Clean timing. You know, as you seen how he timed Porter coming in with his head down. That was something that I think that the corner had picked him up on game because he wasn't peeping that earlier on in the fight. You know what I'm saying? But I think he possessed some slick, clean timing where he gonna try to counter over that jab somehow or hook over that jab. I mean, somehow because that's what Earl stars and ends with. You know what I mean? So I probably think they would be game planning that on that in between rounds because they do, and he a slow starter. That slow start can cost him. I mean, like look at Kavalaskis. Kavalaskis put him down. That wasn't no trip. That wasn't no nothing. Kavalaskis was able to get in there and land a good clean shot on Bud. You know what I mean? And put him down. That's a tell sign that that's something that Spencer's style favored to get in there like that and land those kind of shots, whether it's up top or to the bottom. You know what I mean? And Bud might have something for that. I don't know. I don't know what he's gonna have for it, but it'd be interesting to see. But it's gonna be Spence work rate that Bud never seen. You know what I'm saying? Spence gonna be in there all night, busy throwing punches, damn near 1,000 punches. You know what I'm saying? In the whole fight. What's that? 80 to 100 punches around, Trey, something like that. 70, 80 punches around. He touching you with whether it's on your chin, on your arms. You
You
know,
talking
just
about Earl?
yeah.
Shit, sometimes that motherfucker thought more than that. I think he got a fight where he threw 1,000 punches, if I ain't mistaken.
Yep.
He throw a bunch of them hoes. I know that.
And
But
that's what.
don't he throw the most punches when ain't shit coming back though?
That's
But
the
we talk.
thing,
We ain't
though.
even. We ain't even. I ain't even talking about somebody just sitting there that got caught or trying to cover up. I'm just saying just the work rate. You feel what I'm saying? Ain't nobody in there working like that. Ain't nobody going in the ring working like that. Whether they touch you on your high guard, on your forearms, on your you know what I'm saying, your hip, because all those shots ain't directly to the chin. He touching you somewhere while you not working, while you trying to defend. You know what I'm saying? And I don't. It's a question or not whether Bud gonna want to exchange with him, knowing the vulnerabilities of him getting hit. You know what I'm saying, and going down. I'm pretty sure as a man he gonna have those questions in his head. You know what I'm saying? They both got skills, but their style is the intriguing part of this fight. You know what I mean? And that's what makes it interesting. That's why I'm hoping to hear a breakdown of you know what I'm saying, exactly what you think would be the recipe for Bud or for Earl. I think Earl got the recipe for Bud based on he able to take contact and give contact back. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
if Bud do land some shit, it's just gonna make the fight even that much deep. You know what I'm saying? Especially if he hit him hard. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna make the fight that much more intriguing. That much, you know what I mean? And I seen Bud go down and get up and do the same thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
like
I mean,
against Cavaliers.
yeah.
Hey, but I
Though I
want to
mean, not
piggyback.
just Kavalauskas, Gamboa rocked his ass. Like it's a lot of people that done called him, man. He done stepped it up to where he want to hit harder now. You know what I'm saying? He wants Brook, all these kind of fights. What's the Benavidez brother you fought? You know what I mean? All these kind of fights. I done seen Bud got that dog in him also, but I just seen Bud go down. You know what I'm saying? I seen Bud actually fold. You know what I'm saying? That's the only difference. That's
That ain't folding. He went down. You know what I'm
I'm saying
saying? But
what I mean by fold. I clarify for you, brother. What I'm talking about. I'm talking about his knees actually left from up under him.
yeah.
He
Oh yeah.
actually folded. You know what I'm saying? That's
Both
what I'm
both
talking
both got. Hey, I ain't gonna. I'm gonna let you go ahead, man. Cause Trey was trying to get in. My bad.
Yeah,
about.
I
No, that's
want, I
all. That's
want.
what I want to say. What I meant by fold. Just wanted to clarify. I ain't saying like he was out or nothing. I'm just saying he lost his whole lower body. Just went down, and he didn't want to talk about it. You see how they addressed Earl? What happened with Earl when he got rocked? It looked like he was hurt. He admitted. You know what I'm saying? What the hell happened? He didn't ignore it. He did not say, "Oh, that never happened." You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, I want to piggyback off that too because I think that he don't want to talk about it because of the type of punch that he took. He took a lead right hand, bro, and got dropped. And if you in boxing, they say that it's disrespectful to get hit with that punch because the punch has to travel so far that you should see it coming and be able to get out the way. He got dropped with that shit. So I know that when he look on tape, he ain't feeling good about that. Who the fuck wants to get dropped with a punch that you ain't supposed to get caught with? And that also made me think his defense just ain't the best, man, especially when he in the southpaw stance. I mean, just your like the positioning of your body, like your the positioning of your body in space, it makes it kind of hard to gauge the punches like it would in your natural stance. So most of the time when I see people switch, their defense goes down a little bit. And I see the same thing with him. But with Earl, I also see some vulnerability with him. When Earl missed, he missed badly. Like he'll throw a looping left hand to the body and miss that shit and be all out of position looking all crazy out there. And that leaves him vulnerable to getting caught with something. You know what I'm saying? So that's something that makes it intriguing to me. Like both guys, they bring a lot of good shit, but they also have some vulnerability in their styles to where we can have some them landing on each other and having a good fight. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah, that's why I was trying to bring that conversation up. You know what I mean? Because this is the fight that we want to see. You know what I'm saying? We've been talking about the shit for God knows how long. We had enough time. You know what I'm saying to know and see what we want to see out of both of these guys. And that's the thing that stand out to me, Trey. I don't. It's some things that I don't know. You know what I'm saying? That I like to see if what happened in that motherfucker, and I point them out, whether it's Earl Spence or Bud. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, he missed wide. Like the mistake of dropping his mouthpiece. That's not the first time he dropped his mouthpiece. You know what I'm saying? He do that shit against Bud. You know what I'm saying? Bud might put him in the blender. It might not just be one or two punches. You know what I'm saying? Bud might be on his motherfucking back. You know what I mean? All that shit is a possibility. You know what I'm saying? Good conversation. I do know that motherfucker was off guard, got caught with a solid punch, and with every time he got hurt, that motherfucker stood tall, stood strong. You know what I'm saying? I seen them shaky legs from Bud. You feel what I'm saying? And it's a bigger guy with sharper punches, with way more talent, and with the same grit and relentlessness in front of him. You know what I'm saying? That's being tested. That's actually being tested. So that's you know what I'm saying. That's gonna be the key. I mean, I got Spence. I think Spence is capable of stopping Bud.
The
I really
odds
do.
makers got Spence too.
I really think Spence can stop Bud. And that's why I asked y'all. I mean, I know y'all rooting for Bud. How y'all see it? Like, what do y'all see the strengths and weaknesses? You know what I'm saying? From both fighters. You know what I'm saying? Not just picking on one, because they both is the top of the cream of the crop. You know what I'm saying?
Well, to me, Bud's biggest strength is his adaptability. Because there's been so many fights I don't watch where I'm like, I don't know what the fuck Bud gonna do in this fight. Because it's look, it just look like it ain't no way to get a stoppage or to take over the fight, and somehow he just figured this shit out. So it's like it ain't no one thing I can say with Bud because to me he is always figure out a way, and that's my favorite attribute about the guy. So,
Against who though?
against everybody he done fought. Shit,
You know what I'm trying to say though, man. It ain't
against
like
Sean Porter, nigga.
yeah, we got one. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, they ain't no Earl Spence type motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true. That's why this fight is intriguing because we ain't never
Yeah.
seen him fight somebody like. But I mean, we just ain't never seen Spence fight nobody like Crawford either. Somebody who just gonna systematically figure you out and just find a way to make shit happen like this. So I don't know. He done
Hey,
fought some decent boxers.
I would say, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'll be hearing people be knocking Brook at the time when him and Spence fought, but I would say Brook got a similar style, but in the southpaw stance as as
well, he an orthodox though.
Brooke, an
as
orthodox fighter.
no, but I'm saying, but when I'm talking about as Bud in the southpaw, you feel what I'm saying? Talking about their
You
style,
saying like he a skill type fighter.
yeah, yeah. Especially when Bud changed to southpaw. That's what I'm trying to say.
And both
You
of
heard
them
about
had
Derek
people
Chan?
on their resume with 50 losses and shit. So yeah, I see the similarity.
Yeah,
This nigga behave.
you see what
God damn.
you see what he, you know what I'm saying, what he can do. You know what I'm saying, the advantage that he can take off. But we also saw what Spitz did with that. You know what I'm saying? With that, he brought pressure with pressure, and one just broke down. You know what I'm saying? So if anything, that's probably what we'll see. You know what I mean? We'll probably see a motherfucking battle throughout the round. Motherfuckers just gonna keep making adjustments to one break. You know what I mean? I can't. That's why I brought up the situation with them legs. You know what I'm saying? When a motherfucker get hit and that chin, is he gonna be able to stand strong, still stand on his feet, or he gonna go down like Cap Lasky? You know what I'm saying? Or he gonna do the stanky leg like Gamboa? You know what I
It's the
mean?
body work that's concerning for me for Crawford because Earl is the naturally bigger man. And if you want to show somebody that you the naturally bigger man, go to the body. That's when they really gonna feel your strength. And I think that Crawford gonna have some trouble with them body shots from Earl for 12 rounds. You know what I'm saying? Like the way that Earl fight, man, he got these certain moves that he is not gonna be denied. Like when he throw that lead left hand, he is getting in there. And when he get in there, he ain't getting in there to clinch. He getting in there to work. I'm talking about going to the body, uppercuts, looping left hand, coming back with the hook, all kind of shit. And then when you try to get away from him, he stepping to you behind the jab. Like, and his work rate is high. That's another thing. Crawford ain't fought nobody with a work rate like this guy. Crawford known for having slow starts in boxing and stuff. Not so much at welterweight. I give him credit for that. I think he has better starts at welterweight. But for the most part, he's known for having slow starts in boxing. Earl ain't known for that. Earl is known for being on the gas from round 1 to round 12. And that's something that's tough to deal with, man. It can look one way on the outside of the ring, but when you actually get off in there with that type of shit, it's different. You know what I'm saying? So I think Earl gonna get him, man. And whenever I see the odds and shit for this fight, like potential odds, I see like minus 175 for Earl, and it'd be like plus 125 for Crawford.
I see you, D-Lo. You gonna come say something to me? MZ, salute, fam. Blues Gold. The Catchy, salute. What's happening? Hyphy in the building. Roz Fly. What's happening, bro? D-Lo, what's your take?
Yeah, man. I think when I think about the body shots, I think, what I'm saying, and I'm not a boxer, never boxed, anything like that. You know what I'm saying? Sparred a little bit, but that's it. But I think guys, I think it's a little more effort for a taller guy. They do get the body work in against a guy that's shorter than it is a guy that's his height or taller. But you know what I'm saying. I think if anybody can do it, is Errol Spence. You know what I'm saying. But I just look at with Terrence Crawford and the versatility. Terrence Crawford doesn't have to stay there. You know what I'm saying. Some of these guys, they get caught up in these inside fights and exchanges. They're too slow footed. Things like that. And I'm not saying guys Errol fought. I'm just saying in general, that sometimes these guys don't have the options or the know-how to actually, get themselves out of that situation. So they just stand there and bang. And if you got a guy like Errol that's such a good body puncher, and you're not able to take the fire, he's probably gonna make you back up or either gonna put you down. But you know what I'm saying? I mean, that's the thing about it. When you talk about, a guy having the versatility that Crawford has, and I think Spence has versatility in his own right as well. I just feel like the ebb and flow of this fight is gonna be like so many. It's gonna be like so many little fights inside of a fight. Hey, what's that in the background, y'all?
Oh, he just went on mute. He just went on mute.
Okay, yeah. But you know what I'm saying. And as far as like who can get hurt and all this, that, and the other, I mean, man, I would be lying if I sat here and said I don't think both of these guys are capable of stopping the other guy or at least dropping the other guy. You know what I'm saying? We can talk about what happened in the Ugas fight, which I said I didn't want to belabor the point of, but it came back up again. Everybody talks about, the shot where Spence's mouthpiece came out and he got hit when he wasn't looking, but Spence was actually hurt before that. Spence got caught with a shot right before his mouthpiece came out, and he did the weekend at Bernie's. You know what I'm saying? Just like he did against Larte, just like he did, when he got caught against Danny. You know what I'm saying? Where he does this thing where he puts his hands up and he just kind of like rocks back and forth like he's disoriented for a minute or something, and then he gets himself together. That actually happened right before he got his mouthpiece. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if that was the shot that actually knocked his mouthpiece out or what, but like right before that, he got, got caught with a good shot. He got caught with a lot of, it's a lot of, he got caught a few times in the fight with body shots that seemed to bother him. But, I think some of that has to do with, him being on the way back. You know what I'm saying? Not really, I know being in great condition, but not really having been an active fighter. So now if he goes into the Crawford fight, and Crawford isn't Ugas, you know what I'm saying? Ugas caught him with some stuff Crawford may not catch him with. Crawford could catch him with some stuff that Ugas couldn't catch him with. You know what I'm saying? Errol could catch him with some stuff that nobody caught him with and that he wasn't able to catch Ugas with. So it's just a lot of, things and intangibles that go into the fight that make you say, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, it's so many different outcomes that I can envision with this fight, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, I'm standing on my pick. I'm not gonna change. I've been saying Terrence Crawford ever since I think his fight with the Benavidez brother. I've been saying, he's a welterweight now. I think he'll beat Spence. Before that, I felt like it was a great little man against a great big man, and I felt like I had to go with Spence. But Spence didn't take the fight right away, which is his choice. And you know what I'm saying, Terrence Crawford's grown into the division, got some people crying that Terrence Crawford done got old and this, that, and the other. I feel like it was advantageous to Crawford. You know what I'm saying, that he didn't go right into the Spence fight when he first got to the division before he got a belt, or even right after he got that first belt. I think he has a better shot at being the best version, the best welterweight Terrence Crawford that he can be at this point than he did when he first came to the division. Yeah, he was a little younger. you know, a little crisper. He hadn't been dropped by Mean Machine yet. But, you know, we've seen Crawford rock, you know what I'm saying? I don't put a whole lot of stock in him getting rocked at the lower weights because we done talked about on this channel how, you know, he was essentially, you know, killing himself to make those lower weights, and he was a weight bully.
Yeah, I'm
You
about to
know,
say,
so,
go on, say it, nigga, weight
yeah.
bully.
Oh yeah. I mean, so and
Hey, get up.
you know what I'm saying? And when you think about all that, that plays a part in the guys, you know what I'm saying, getting rocked at these lower weights. But I mean, the Mean Machine fight was at 147, so I mean, Mean Machine could crack, you know, but at the same time, you know what I'm saying, you allowed yourself to get caught with the shot. To me, like Trey X said, that's the bigger problem. It ain't even about how you took the shot; it's the fact that you got caught with the shot, and that's what, you know what I'm saying. He gotta, you know, make sure he doesn't let it happen again. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, I think both of these guys are very capable of putting some hurt on the other guy. I can't say you know what I'm saying, who looks worse when they get rocked. You know what I'm saying? I think honestly when both of these guys get rocked, they look horrible. You know what I'm saying? I think but the thing about it is, regardless of how bad they look when they get rocked, they do something that a lot of fighters don't do, and that's come back strong. In many cases, finish their man or go out and dominate on the rest of the fight. So, you know what I'm saying? That factor in and of itself just makes this fight that much more intriguing to me.
Hey, I got two things on that because I know that Dilo always, instead of our conversation, he bring up what everybody else say. That's kind of crazy. But and then too, like that old shit and all that. That's not nobody's fault. That you can't Spence already told the world what he was gonna do before this man even moved up to the division. Why is we not keeping it
Hold
real
on, let me respond to
and in
that.
context? Let me finish because you already
Oh,
said
go ahead,
what you
man.
said. You
Go
already
ahead,
said
go
what you
ahead.
said. Before this man came into the vision, Spence already announced the fights that he was trying to do. You know what I'm saying? Before this man came up into the division. So when it was his choice to come up and get in the way of what Spence said he was going to do, why is it okay or it seems like a motherfucker got to fight that man because he said when he wanted him to fight him when the man ain't even finished his business that he said he was going to put out. And now that he did finish his business and he calling him out, it's still somehow some little undermined thing about this so-called narrative that the man was supposed to fight him a long time ago, and that's a lie.
You ready? You ready?
Yeah, yeah.
All right. I hear you talking about. He said he was gonna do this, that, and the other. The first I heard of Aerosmith Jr. talking about all these other people was when him and Terrence Crawford were in Omaha. I mean, in Oklahoma at the Maurice Hooker fight. That's when he talked about he's gonna fight these other. Because actually, up to that point, the other guys wasn't gonna fight him. They only fought him after They only were willing to fight him after he fought Mikey. When they saw that Aerosmith Jr. could pack out an arena, they could do a big pay per view. All of a sudden, Sean Porter got his hand raised. All of a sudden, Danny Garcia his nuts dropped. All of a sudden, prior to that, them guys didn't want to fight that man. Keith Thurman still didn't want to fight. Now, when you say that he didn't, why do I feel like he's supposed to have fought Terrence Crawford? I don't. You know what I'm saying? And that was my point is that Errol's been in charge. You know what I'm saying? Terrence was new to the division. It was Errol's fight to take or tell Terrence Crawford to eat crap. You know what I'm saying? And he basically told him to his face that you're gonna be last. I'm gonna fight these other guys on my side of the street. Why won't I take these easier? And I'm saying easier to make because that's how I interpret him saying it. I don't think he meant easier fights. And Terrence Crawford agreed with him. If Terrence Crawford had a problem with it, he should have said that then. My point is that, like I said, I feel like that was advantageous to Terrence Crawford. So, you know what I'm saying? It gave Terrence Crawford time to acclimate to the division. And like I said earlier, had they fought, before Terrence Crawford had a couple fights in the division, kind of acclimated to the division, I favored Errol Spence, hands down. You know what I'm saying? I'd have picked him 10 out of 10 times. But my point is that, you know what I'm saying, he was the one who was in charge of the situation. Terrence Crawford couldn't make no fight. You know what I'm saying? Errol Spence was the one who had to either accept the fight or deny the fight. I don't blame him for not taking the fight. He had things he could have done, and he did it. You know what I'm saying? And there wasn't no slight at him in that kind of way. You know what I'm saying? I'm just stating what really happened. You know what I'm saying? And if you say, why did he have to fight him then? I mean, he was the one told that man to get a belt. But I still don't feel like he had to fight him. You know what I'm saying? Because if he had to fight him, it didn't happen. So apparently he didn't have to. And you know what I'm saying? I respect him taking the position he took. And I respect him taking the route that he took to get there. You know, I might throw slight at him here and there and say he took confidence builders and this, that, and the other. But I don't think it was
But you
about
doing
that.
that, but I see you doing that despite knowing that ain't no way in hell that fight was gonna happen with him over there on top rank, bro. Like I don't understand. It's already it's out there. It's like not no made up or opinion. He said it his own self. Like Bud said this out of his own mouth.
Marlo, take that
Well,
over Errol Spence. He was the one told the man to get a belt. He
I
didn't say
said,
leave
Bud,
Bob Aaron, we can make
I
a fight.
said,
He said get a belt.
Bud said out of his own mouth what the problem was. D-Lo, why that shit wasn't happening, and why Spence didn't fight him.
I
I
mean,
don't
that's
understand
I
why
mean,
this
we
shit still keep being slights when the
it's
facts are
not a
already
slight,
clear.
Marlo. I'm just stating the way the things played out. You know what I'm saying? My point is, fuck all the other shit I said. My point is, it's beneficial to Bud Crawford that they didn't fight when he first came to the division. That's the point I'm trying to make. What you pulling out of it is semantics about whether or not I feel Errol ducked him or should have fought him and this and that. That ain't even what I'm talking about. What I'm saying is they didn't fight then. I think we got a better fight now. I think the fight's bigger now. And I was one of them people crying about want to see the fight months ago, years ago, and all that. The only time that I ever didn't want to see the fight was when Errol first had that wreck and when Errol came off that eye surgery. Every other time there was a possibility for that fight to be made, I was all for it. But at the end of the day, I respect the route in which these guys took to get here. I think we're getting a bigger fight. It got to a point where when Errol started picking up these other belts, it made sense to go ahead for somebody to pick up all, you know, I would have,
And I want
me
to ask
being
a
a,
question. I want to
I
ask
would
a
have,
question based on what you just said.
go
If
ahead.
Crawford would have got the WBA belt,
I was just finna say that.
will we have seen this faster? Because it seemed like he could have made a push to try to get
I don't
Ugas
know.
or any of the
According to
motherfuckers.
what Marlo just said, he couldn't have because he was with top rank. The WBA belt was on the other side. So if we basing it, if we're gonna stick with
Because
that narrative as
I'm not finna go because the WBA was Pacquiao's at the time. Matter of fact,
Pacquiao been with
It was
PB, no,
Thurman's at the time. It was
but
Thurman.
it was with
Thurman
the
had the
PBC.
PBC and the motherfucking WBA.
But
And
my point is,
he
it was
gave
with
that
the PBC.
motherfucker up. He gave that motherfucker up, and that's how Porter ended up getting the Spence fight. Like we can go direct to facts. Like that's why I asked him. I said, "How come we was talking?" And then all of a sudden, it was something that somebody else said. Like nothing that we said or we, you know what I'm saying? It was. I was just asking, bro, about specifically, you know what I'm saying? What we know, like the facts. We're not out there trying to make up shit and use narrative because we know the reason why he didn't fight Bud. You know what I'm saying? We know Bud said out his mouth and Spence said it already. I mean, it's a fight here now. I was just wondering how come that was. But hey,
I mean, my point is, like I said, I mean, I done said it twice. The point that I said, the point of me bringing it up, period, was that I feel like it benefited Bud Crawford that they didn't fight earlier. And me picking Crawford to win the fight now is a direct result of that fight not happening sooner than it is than now. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
But
I
as
got
far yeah, and I mean that's where I'm at with it. As far as me saying, well, everybody's saying this, that, and the other, man. We this show that you got going on right now exists in a space. I understand that we just talking about stuff in here, but it don't exist in a vacuum. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the stuff that even pops up in the chat is stuff that people are hearing other places or they're seeing in magazines or they're seeing online. And if I say that, I'm not talking about, oh, I was on such and such chat and they said this. I'm specifically talking about things I've taken in maybe throughout the course of the last 4 or 5 years. It ain't about me trying to bring somebody else into it. I'm just saying this is the stuff that's being said. And if I'm saying, you know what I'm saying, my response to it ain't about me saying, well, such and such said this, so that means it's gospel. I'm just saying that this is the tenor of the fight. And until that fight happens, and even after it happens, it's gonna always be chatter. Just like the Ugas fight just happened, there's a lot of chatter about what happened, a lot of opinion. And actually what I said when I said people talking about the the mouthpiece situation, I actually was talking about something that was stated on here. You know what I'm saying? Us in here mentioned the mouthpiece situation, but you know what I'm saying? There was also a moment before that where Spence got rocked, and you know what I'm saying? That really happened. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was talking about. But that don't, and like I said, that don't mean that don't give any bearing to the Crawford fight. That just mean that, you know what I'm saying, the man is human. He's a fighter. He's in there with another fighter that's game. He got caught with a good shot that led to another good shot, and the man never went down. So you know what I'm saying? That ain't taking nothing away from it. That ain't no slight at him or nothing like that. That's just the shit that happened. You know what I'm saying? The Terrence get out there and do the Tusa roll and all that. I'll talk about that too. I was one of the first person that came out and said Terrence Crawford got dropped in the mean machine. Had a motherfucker threaten my life for talking about it. And I kept talking about it.
On that part, they
And I
misunderstood.
still talk about it. You know what I'm saying? He got dropped. And I don't care who feel how about it. The man got dropped.
I wasn't talking about your take. I was talking about you was referencing something about them not fighting each other that other people said. That's all. But I understand you perfectly, though, man.
No, I don't remember saying nothing about other people saying that about them
Yeah,
not
you
fighting.
said
I remember saying that people talking about the mouthpiece and him getting caught with a shot that he didn't see, you know what I'm saying? Or when he had let his guard down, but he actually got caught with another shot too that nobody talks about. That's what I recall saying. But I may have. Shit, I say a lot of stuff.
yeah, that's the info because I was asking your opinion. But anyway, MC, what's your take on it, fam? What's up, King King?
My take is, how y'all talking about my favorite fighter in 147 and I ain't know?
Say, brother, you came late to the party, man.
Hey man, I looked up and saw y'all on here, damn near broke my neck, falling out the bed trying to get to the spot so I could see what was going on. But I'm glad y'all on it, and I'm glad y'all talking about it because it deserves to be talked about. My favorite fighter did his thing against Ugas. Big up to Ugas again. But the thing that's on the plate right now is Crawford and Spence. And all the talking that's going to come out now, you know, is to be looked at and understood, but it's just talk. Everybody going to have their opinions on the way the fight took place and how the fight took place for those that didn't see it. But for those that did see it, we got a treat. We got to see a shutout pretty much in the fight. Yeah, Earl took some shots because it's a fight. Everybody takes shots in the fight. The way he reacted to him was it was not nothing out of the ordinary. Like D'Lo was saying, he took some shots. He took a couple of shots before the mouthpiece came out. He took a shot when the mouthpiece came out. He took some shots after that fact. He remained standing, especially to take the ones that he really didn't see coming when the mouthpiece was on the ground and he was looking down. He took those quite well. Like we said yesterday, if he had took him on the other side of the ring, he probably would have fell down because the ropes held him up. But the thing that we all been waiting for is here. Crawford, Spence. Crawford is acclimated to the division. He's gained his weight. He's used to it and things like that. And we just waiting for the clash. Forget what Spence said a couple of years ago, because you know it seems like whenever that stuff is brought up, it's almost like it's being heard in the left ear and the right ear, and it's not coming to the middle of the brain the same. You know, some of us heard Spence will save Crawford to last. Some of us heard Spence said he get a belt and they'll fight. Well, I didn't quite hear it either one of those ways. I did from what I'm remembering. Hey, it was laid out that, hey, I'm gonna get these belts because it's easy to make the fights, not because they are easier fights, but because it's easy to make these fights. I'm going to take these guys out the way, and then I'll save Crawford for last. I've gone on record more than one time saying, hey, what's the problem with saving the best for last? Nothing. So all that other banner that's going on about it, I don't really think it holds that much water. All we need to be waiting for right now is that date to come across the screen, or an announcement to be made saying that this fight is taking place on this day, so I can get ready to press the button.
Hey, I wanted to piggyback off what you said a little bit. Like it was explained to Marlo in myself that a big part of YouTube was about who is ducking who. So like a lot of the talk them being Earl is ducking Crawford. Hey, not every fucking Crawford fan want to see this fight. Some people are having more fun talking about Earl ducking Crawford than potentially seeing a fight. It's some people that enjoy talking about other fighters ducking their favorite fighter instead of actually seeing their favorite fighter in the fight. I think this is a time that we should be optimistic that we're gonna see the fight. We ain't never heard Earl say what he said, and and seemed like to me, for the most part, whatever he say, that's what he been doing. So if he say that he won't Crawford now, I don't think I've seen enough evidence to not believe him. I think he do want Crawford next, but I'm not seeing the excitement or the happiness from the Crawford crowd. Like whenever I'm looking at messages and looking at comments, I see them talking about what took place 2 years ago or some shit. I don't even hear uh, them saying, well, Crawford gonna beat his ass or nothing like that. They still talking about ducking. So that let me know that they rather talk about ducking than an actual fight. So don't let these motherfuckers fool y'all, man, and make it seem like they just some super boxing fans that want to see the best fight the best. Some of them are just like these other motherfuckers on YouTube that would rather talk about who is ducking who than real fighting.
And I didn't
Well,
want
that
to.
shit go on both sides,
Hey,
though. You
hey,
know.
and,
Hey,
and,
you
I,
know
and
what?
I don't think Trey
Can
talking about
I,
nobody in the chat or nobody on the panel. He talking about something that happened outside of here. It is cool
no,
because
cause
they,
it's
you
like
know,
no,
it
look,
needs to be
Hypey
addressed
say,
sometimes.
Hypey in the chat talking about the easy route, like just undermining the whole truth about the shit, like just playing with the trolling. But come on now, like let's just be
But
real.
that's
Like
hype.
that's why I say
Man,
it.
hypey gonna be hypey.
I understand though.
He come to my
Earlier,
channel and troll me.
no, like earlier, like I thought I misunderstood you, and the reason why is because like when you brought up, I asked your opinion. You know what I'm saying about the potential things that's upon us, and I thought I could have misheard you or whatever. So I just left it alone because I was just trying to get an opinion, bro. 'Cause a lot of this shit I don't believe. Like those was narrative to me. Like it's on video that this man said what he was gonna do before Bud even came to the division. And then it seemed like since when he came to the division and beat Horn, now Earl got to stop everything he said he was gonna do to fight Bud because that's what certain Bud fans wanted. And is that cool? Like you gonna tell a man what what I'm saying? Just banning all that plans, nigga. I'm in the division now. Stop what you told the world you was gonna do. Don't do that. That's too good of a story, nigga. Because right now that's what he got to stand on. Even the media, you kept your word. You got all the straps. What's next? I'm going to go take Terrence Crawford shit. That shit should be great news, dope ass news. But nah, man. First thing we gonna hear is, oh, this should have happened a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? He chose the easy route and all that, and it's not even real. That's not even true.
Hey,
You know what I'm saying? Like I was just
right,
hoping
bro.
we could talk about facts. You know what I'm saying? To give our opinion on facts, not a narrative, bro. That's all. Like that's what I thought you was
You know,
pushing.
the thing is, Marlo, both of those statements can be true. You know what I'm saying? And I'll be honest with you. From what I've seen with my own eyes and heard with my own ears, they both are true. Spence said both of those things. I wouldn't come on here and lie on that, man. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like Bud has said conflicting things. And I'm not gonna come on here and lie for or on him either. You know what I'm saying? But that's kind of like water under the bridge, to be honest,
But
just like you
you know,
said.
can
We
we put
got
it in
what we got
context?
now.
Can we
We
put it
got
in
what we
context,
got
nigga?
now. That's what matters.
Since you exactly, but like I said, I left it alone because I just thought I heard you say something that didn't, you know what I'm saying? Just through the conversation left. That's all.
No,
But
I
look,
ain't finna lie.
you
I
said that
wouldn't lie on
heard
my
him say
ex-wife,
both of
man.
them. You said you heard him say both of them things, but I clearly remember him saying that in the context as you ain't even got no strap. At least get a strap and talk to me. Not
Marlo,
oh, get a strap.
if we go there, it's gonna consume the show. I'm telling you, I'm not gonna come on here and say somebody said something they didn't say. If you didn't hear it, that's cool. We neither of us have heard everything that these guys have said. I'm just telling you, I wouldn't come on here and say something I didn't hear myself. I wouldn't come on here and say something I didn't see video footage of. You know what I'm saying? But it's cool. It really is neither here nor there at this point. My
You
whole
said
point of bringing it up was that I feel like us as fans are being treated to a better fight. And if it happens in 2022, then we would have got back when they were going back and forth and weren't serious about making the fight. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they were just, you know what I'm saying, jockeying for position, I guess, if lack of a better term. You know what I'm saying? I just think at that point, They weren't ready to make the fight. The suits weren't ready to make the fight. Bob Arum said way back then the same thing that PBC said about them guys gonna want $10 million a piece and the money ain't there. So now all of that stuff is out of the way. I think we're in a prime position to get the fight. You got these guys saying they don't want nobody but each other, which is what we've been asking for. And maybe we were asking for it prematurely. Maybe we were asking for it when they weren't in a position to do so. But now it's almost like neither one of them have anywhere else to go that really makes sense at this point. If they're going, because both of them been hollering undisputed for the better part of 4 or 5 years that they want to be undisputed at 147. Well, they the only two guys that got belts. So we should be getting this fight. And if we don't get this fight, then we ought to be able to come on here and say whatever we want to say about anybody, and nobody shouldn't get mad, because you know what I'm saying. The reality is that at this point, we done everything as fans that we supposed to do. I don't hear anybody on this panel going around talking against the guys and talking against the fight and saying they don't want to see the fight. I think everybody on this panel, regardless of who they feel like they like in the fight, they really want to see the fight. You know what I'm saying? I say all the time, I want to see the fight. If the guy I'm picking go out there and lose in the first round, I'm cool with that. I would much rather that happen than walk around here claiming that the other guy was ducking just so I can say, well, I got the other guy, your guy ducking. You know what I'm saying? I ain't about that. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think anybody on this panel has that mentality. I think everybody on this panel, you know what I'm saying, really want to see the fight. And I think you're talking to the right people. You know what I'm saying? We are talking to the right people. We talking to a bunch of boxing fans who are truly boxing fans and truly want to see the best fights. And they've waited long enough to get this fight. They supported these fighters. And it's almost like, we want our reward. You know what I'm saying? And if it don't happen, I'm not going to turn against the guys. But, I'm really, really optimistic about it. I'm hopeful. But it's boxing, so you can't get but so excited until something really happens. And it ain't our fault. It's the way boxing has done over the years. You don't really have you almost can't help but be reserved until something's on paper and official.
Salute, Cypher Supreme, salute, fam. Hey, the link is in the thing if y'all want to jump on, man. That's only for the family members. More than likely, if you got a rent or you've been coming around,
Well, hey, listen, dog.
And give me a second so I can reach out, because we've been reading the chat. At least let me communicate.
Oh, go ahead.
If y'all want to jump on and join in on the conversation, man, we all fam up here. It's just a friendly conversation, man. Y'all can jump on and voice your opinion. But go ahead.
Oh, my fault. I'm a self-identified Bud fan, so if I may speak to the Bud fan comments, I am excited to see the fight because I've been wanting to see this fight for the better part of 4 years now. But if there are Bud fans out there who are bringing up the fact that EJ didn't want to fight him for all these years and stuff, you gotta understand that's the same shit they've been dealing with for 4 years. Cause every time you brought up, well, we want to see the Bud and the Errol fight. Then the Spence fans would say, well, who he done fought? He ain't fought nobody. You know what I'm saying? Like they didn't want to see the fight happen. So if Bud fans now sound like they don't want to see the fight happen, which I don't believe that they don't. I think they do, but they frustrated because you gotta understand it's been 4 years. And we done went through Bud getting frustrated, being like, well, shit, I don't even want to fight no more. You know what I'm saying? So we know over marination is a thing. I wouldn't say this is over marination, but it's damn near close to it. So if Bud fans are pissed off, it's because of that kind of shit right there.
Okay,
it ain't.
Let me respond.
Yeah.
All right. I'm on Spence side. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel you.
Now, when it comes to Bud Crawford, I never brought up who he fought as far as him deserving a fight. Somebody y'all over there eating that pizza or whatever y'all got going on. But I never brought up that who he fought to say he deserved a fight. I just bring up his strength of schedule as far as his pound for pound status. You know what I'm saying? But God damn, I forgot what the fuck I was gonna say. Whoever that was over there smacking and shit and threw me off motherfucking point, man. Let me get my shit together and I'll be back.
I wasn't talking about you though. I wasn't talking about you. I'm just saying.
I know I'm a fat boy, but it wouldn't be.
Let me bounce off of what you might have been saying, Trey.
All right, hold that thought real.
And shout out to Hyphy because he said, damn Spence said the same shit.
Oh no, I know what I was gonna say. Let me say it before I forget it.
Go ahead.
Goddamn. Goddamn.
Try again.
Man,
We're gonna let you reset one more time.
Oh yeah, I got it. Okay, look. This what frustrated me a lot about some of these Crawford fans. A lot of them were saying that Earl should fight Danny instead of fighting Danny Garcia. They felt like he should have went straight into a fucking Crawford fight coming off the damn car wreck. It seemed like they were opportunistic. When they saw the man down on his luck or fucked up from his own volition, they saw that as an opportunity and they really clamped down hard. He needs to fight Bud. He needs to fight Bud. But now that we done seen the man looking like his old self again, I don't see that same energy. I'm seeing.
I didn't want to see him fight.
Let's not talk about that. Let's talk about some other shit. Let's not talk about the fight. Let's not talk about how it'll play out and nothing like that. Let's talk about ducking. That's not, you know what I'm saying? So I just want that same energy. Bring that same energy that you brought when the man was coming off a car wrecking and you thought that he was a lesser version of himself and you was opportunistic for Bud. Now that the man looking like a killer again, bring that same energy.
I can't speak to that because I didn't want to see him
Trey,
fight him.
I feel like
that would have been an excuse they had.
Yeah, I feel like anybody that wanted to see Spence get right in the ring with Bud off of that accident, and even off of the eye surgery, even though Spence said he didn't want to tune up, you know what I'm saying? It still, it still made sense for him to fight Ugas instead of Bud, in keeping with what he said about fighting the guys on his side of the street first. And I felt like anybody that was trying to like rush this man into a Bud fight just wanted to see the man get beat. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, are you really a fan of Bud, or you're a fan of boxing, or you just a hater of Errol Spence Jr., or you just, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say just because you want to see somebody get beat don't mean you're a hater, but is it more important to you for this man to lose than for him to be able to be put in a situation where he's on level footing to have the best opportunity to fight a guy that you may consider to be the best in boxing? I feel like that's some sucker shit, to be honest.
hey, King, I'm gonna let you go real quick. What threw me off though, we was breaking down skill, all this and all that, and then it got brought up like the ducking and the pass and all that. Like I just didn't understand that. Like I thought I know, well, we should all agree that this is all of the fight we wanted is here. We don't waited longer for fights like this. It's here, and it's also meaningful. One of the most meaningful fights we've been waiting on. Pacquiao and Mayweather wasn't this meaningful. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucker waited longer for that shit. And motherfucker talking outside of or just buzzkill kind of. That's probably what I can call it. Buzzkill with the past, which seemed like more of a narrative that really don't mean anything right now as we speak. You know what I'm saying? Like I thought we were supposed to be excited about the fight, breaking down the fight, what we see happen, all this and that. And you know what I'm saying? That's all this. Like I said, I wasn't, you know what I'm saying? I understand now, but that's just what it be seeming like once the conversation be good and bam, curveball come in. You know what I mean? Had your antenna standing up, not knowing if you understood it right or not. You know what I'm saying?
It's all good, Marvin. You usually don't understand me anyway when we're on the panel, but when we talk on the phone, we understand each other pretty good, So
no, afterwards, when you said what you said, I do. I was just trying to explain how come that I had those specific questions for you because that's what it is.
Well, I think some of it just got to be, because being on a panel is kind of like speed dating. You know what I'm saying? Like, hurry up and get it out so the next person can go. So, you know what I'm saying? Maybe I didn't say something clear enough, you know what I'm saying? Or maybe you didn't hear all of what I was saying, and the part you heard was what got your antennas up. We're like, whoa, you talking about that?
It probably was more me. Because I'll be hearing some shit, man, and then if it sounds similar, I'll be like, don't tell me. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you quick to you quick to go to the defense of Spence, and hey, just like sometimes I'm quick to go to the defense of Bud, and I might have heard something wrong. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, because it done been plenty of time. You done be like, whoa, D-Lo, that ain't what the man said. So you know what I'm saying? It happens, but you know what I'm saying? I'll be honest, man. I'm stoked that it seems like we're getting the fight. I'm not gonna lie, but I ain't trying to be a killjoy. It ain't here till it's here, man. And that's, you know what I'm saying, and that's the thing that I'm leery of, but I'm hopeful that we gonna get it. You know what I'm saying? Because hell, I done had the same little piece of money set aside for this fight for ever since the Porter fight. I'm talking about the same piece of money sitting there waiting on this fight. So, you know what I'm saying? Trust
Your
and
shit
believe it. I'm ready
compounded
for it.
interest by now, then.
Hey,
No, it ain't. Hey,
hey,
it's actually pay, it's
hey,
paper
hey.
money.
But look, is it safe to say though? Like this is what got me so hyped on not even saying if, when, or not. I mean, you got motherfucker boxing talking motherfucker like Stephen A on that motherfucker, and Grizzly Bear ass Perkins on there talking about the fight, and it's on a big significant ass station with like millions of people listening. 9 times out of 10, that fight is in motion right now. That the gumbo is already started. What they call it, the roux is
The
cooking
root.
when you start to see that kind of shit.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to back off of it when you got that much interest and people think people have heard. You know, the thing about Spence saying what he said when
Hey,
he
you
said it.
sounding muffled, nigga. Tighten up your audio,
Yeah, your
nigga.
mic is terrible.
Nigga, you talking
Hey,
through a
how it
kazoo,
is now?
nigga.
How it sound now?
You sound
That
better.
sound better.
Okay, so the thing about Spence saying what he said immediately after his fight, and then Bud responding the way he responded, is like the eyes of the sports world are expecting this fight to happen now. So the people who can make things happen, the movers and shakers in the sport, they're gonna look real crazy if they don't make this fight happen. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like you said, Marlo, the gumbo's already cooking. You know what I'm saying? They in a situation now where they almost ain't got no choice but to make the fight. Whether they feel like they could milk it out and make a little more money or not, that's kind of not gonna be the point. Because it almost seemed like to me Spence ain't playing ball with nothing else. It really seemed like I almost think Spence wanted this fight earlier, but agreed to do some other stuff. And it's like, okay, I done the things I agreed to do. Now give me the fight I've been wanting. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of how it seemed to me,
Hey,
based on
hey,
his
hey, hey.
actions and
Let me get in.
huh?
Let me get in. Let me
And
get
that's
in. Let
Go
me.
ahead, go ahead, go
and
ahead, go
that's a
ahead.
fact. Hey, King, before you go, can we all agree then? All that other BS about ducking and winning the fight and all that. Okay, we should just be pumping this fight up and talking about this fight, bringing it to existence with positive shit. What we think should happen. You know what we see in this fight. You know what I'm saying? Things of that nature. All that old shit. I mean, the fight is here now. You know what I'm saying? The more good talk about the fight, the more the motherfucking ink gonna get to the paper. You know what I'm saying? The more the BS that's taking the lackluster away from the fight, that might overwhelm. You know what I mean? Overwhelm these casuals. You know
They
what I mean?
gonna build they gonna build a fight, Marlo, with all that stuff you don't want to hear. That's what they're gonna use to build a fight. Ellie's little piece with them guys face to face. That's gonna be all over the. You know what I'm saying? Like all of this old stuff, they gonna come back with that. It's gonna build a fight. That stuff draws in casuals. You know what I'm saying? The soap opera dynamic is what draws the masses in. It ain't the technical stuff that we like. You know what I'm saying? It ain't the breakdowns. It ain't the matchup. It's the drama. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be out there.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, if we get what we want, I don't care how we get it.
Hey, let me say this. Let me say this before King of the Kim folks go. I see a slight shift in boxing right now, though. Look at all the undisputed fights we get, man. We wasn't getting that shit for a long time, and we were saying, man, all I want is undisputed. All I want is undisputed. Then we done had Terrence Crawford undisputed. We done had Josh Taylor undisputed. We done had Canelo undisputed. We gonna fuck around and have Crawford or Castano undisputed if ain't no fucking draw or nothing this time.
Charlo Castano,
Yeah, Charlo or Castano. I don't know who I said.
Crawford.
Yeah, Charlo or Castano. If it ain't no draw, it might be some undisputed in some other weight classes before we know it. You know what I'm saying? So I see a slight shift in boxing. I see big fights being made. Fighters getting fights they want. Like Shakur Stevenson, he been wanting Valdez. He didn't have to wait till he 30 to get the fight he want, because that's what I was seeing boxing for a long time. We see boxing as a young man sport, but I think boxing is a little bit older man sport. You don't get the fight that you really want until you're about 30. You got to go out there and put in the work and build up your resume, get yourself pay-per-view ready. And then by that time, that's when you start getting your Oscar De La Hoya or something like that, so you can become a pay-per-view star or some shit. You know what I'm saying? But I don't really see that necessarily taking place right now. I see fights starting to be made. I'm not saying we getting every single fight that we want, but I do see some shit coming together. We seeing Undisputed. We seeing fights starting to be made. Even Carissa Shields and fucking Savannah Marshall. Look at the damn other women. Katie Taylor and what's her name?
Serrano.
So Serrano. You know what I'm saying? Like we seeing big fights coming together. So I think that right there is more to make me optimistic that we'll see Crawford and Spence. You know what I'm saying? But go ahead, King of the Kinfolk. What's up, bro?
Hey, what's up, homie? How y'all doing tonight, man?
Hey, man, before you go, I
Good,
know
good.
you tired of hearing us say this, but I got to say, man, salute to you for coming in fifth in your first week on the Champ Ross. You know what I'm saying?
That's
What?
right, man. Debuting up there with Gil Coles.
Yeah,
You
he
know
was
what I'm
tied with Gil Coles in the top 5 on his debut.
And he said, he said he was gonna come in like that.
saying? Straight up, G. You know what I'm saying? I had to let it be known that I did have some knowledge because I was for a few weeks there, man, back on the show, I was getting murdered. So, you know, I got a little skill picking the fights. I think, man, look, here's the thing about it. Like, you know, and I understand what everybody's saying. And I picked up what Marlo was talking about initially because I was watching Dante's Boxing Nation, and there's some shit like the way it's not that it's just the way the phrase in the conversation. Oh, fight that we've been waiting 4 or 5 years for. But it's like everybody's like Trex was saying, it's like a lot of people is addicted to the bickering. And when the fight finally comes down, all that's over. And you know, so you take Floyd in that fight. The truth of the matter is, if you want to be honest, what they're saying this and that. When that fight first got brought into fruition, Floyd was already out of his prime then. So that was never a prime fight. So it was always going to be too late if you want to use those standards. This fight coming up right now, because I think it's guaranteed. I don't think Earl's going to allow nothing else. I think Bud's not going to allow nothing else. They're going to go ahead and get it done. But it's just like I said, the language, all the other times. The truth of the matter is this fight only had maybe 2 opportunities to be made before this. No, excuse me, 1. That's the time when Bud got out of the contract and then he re-signed back with Top Rank and got that extension with the guaranteed money. And then now it's only been twice. Just because these guys started talking, there was never really no opportunity before to make the fight. It's been twice. And then the second opportunity came around, they're getting it done. The reason we're seeing a lot of these other fights like that Valdez fight, salute to Bud, is Bud, by him bringing that lawsuit and bringing light to Top Rank and their misuse, you know, a lot of guys took complaint about Top Rank, but nobody actually ever did anything. And Bud, regardless of, I don't know what's going to happen with lawsuit, might sit in there for 10 years. He has changed the landscape of boxing to the point that some of these fights are coming to fruition, that, you know, the issue with the WBO, people felt like Top Rank owned it. You know, how you have 147 and no PBC fighters are ranked in your top 10. That's deliberate. That's just nonsense. So at the end of the day, we spending, like I said, when you hear somebody, it's like they're like one way or another. If you're a Spence or you're a Bud fan, it's like the reality is all the shit talk is going in because now we're going to know. Y'all ain't sitting around wondering if she got a fat ass for real. She naked. You know now, bro.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like that's like, so the thing about it is everybody's gotten used to, because that's what social media is about, the banter, about the two sides. Oh, you know, we got this going on. I don't believe in we've been waiting for this fight for 5 years, because 5 years ago, I'm thinking about, I was in my front room getting mad because Rigondeaux got beat by Lomachenko and he quit. You know what I'm saying? So I know I wasn't like, this fight might have been a bring at that time. I think we were thinking about Bud fighting Pacquiao and finishing him up. So it's come at the time that it needs to come. These guys, like Trey said, this ain't a young man's game no more. These guys do take better care of themselves. They are still in their prime much later in life. You know, they haven't took a lot of damage because they're not fighting a lot of fights. So this is the best time for this fight, and it's going to happen. So let's just concentrate on that. Let's size up the 2 opponents that we got coming into this big fight. Because to be honest, if you think for skill, this might be the best fight since Sugar Ray Leonard and some of these guys back in the day. I mean, skill for skill. These are probably 2 of the most skilled fighters that we've ever seen in their prime. Ready to go, about to fight. You know what I'm saying? So we just need to really soak that up and quit worrying about what happened before now. This, that, making a little, because really it's sly undertones like, who give a damn how long my meal took? My steak was done. It was perfect. I'm good. I'm eating. Like, let's concentrate on that. Let's not even bring up anything that happened. Let's stop bringing up an interview of them being in the hallway, or he meant it this way, or they meant it that way. I'm not talking about nobody particular on here, but just period. Like, yo, just be happy, man. Quit being sour. And I'm sorry if you're a Bud fan or if you're an Earl Spence fan, and in your heart you got doubts, and you're like, damn, now all the shit's talking is going to end. Well, that's life. That's what happens, bro. you finally figure out who's better. You quit trying to hypothetically figure it out. Now we'll know. And I have nowhere in my mind. Earl Spence, I feel, is a man's word. Him saying his Crawford's name at the end of that fight, there's not going to be nothing acceptable. Thurman got put back on the shelf if he ever was off it. So I'm excited, man, and I'm ready for this fight to happen, bro. I'm gonna pay for it 2-3 times. I'm gonna pay for it, make sure my brother watches it at his house. You know what I'm saying? Straight up.
I agree with you for the most part. But I just want to point out, I watched the interview with Shakur Stevenson here recently, and they were asking him about that lawsuit and how does he feel that impacted him getting the fight against Valdez. And he was like, "Well, I ain't got to do with that. We was actually already working on the fight before the lawsuit came through." So
yeah,
I
but
just
you know what? A lot of top ranked fights are getting worked on. I think that really forced the issue because at the end of the day, now he has to show that maybe I'm not this guy. Yeah, you've been working on that. It was getting worked on before Valdez had the last fight. So yeah, he's look. This is the thing about Shakur. I like him, but his mind is in fighting where it should be. He doesn't really know. There's somebody coming up to him. Hey man, we working on this. It's about to happen. Yeah, I promise you. Somebody was doing Bud like that. Oh yeah, we working on that Pacquiao fight. It's about to happen. Until Bob slipped up and told the truth to everybody. So I think it just put the pressure on them to actually make it happen.
Hey, real quick, Shakur is he up under what's his name? Oh boy, out of Houston, what's his name?
Jay Prince.
Jay Prince.
So his management and his moves don't got nothing to do with Bob Arum because I believe he just using the network. So
No, he signed the Bob. I mean, Jay Prince is like his manager. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I can't remember. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was trying to say, yeah, under promotion. I mean the network deal, right? I believe, but what I'm saying is though, he got somebody behind him that's gonna be demanding the fights he want, and that's gonna be in his ear. You know what I'm saying? He ain't got the same contract as I say Bud or somebody like that. Bud contract was bought from Bud. Something similar to Boo Boo. Bud and Boo Boo had similar.
Well, I say Shakur and Bud got similar contract because they both got managers that's kind of working behind the scenes trying to make things happen for them. Bud Bomac is Bud's manager. And that's kind of like the buffer to try to iron things out. And I think Jay Prince, of course, got a lot more muscle and sway with Bob Arum. He's been doing business with him a lot longer. So you got a great point. Jay Prince, could be pulling strings saying, "Hey, I want my guy in this fight." You know what I'm saying? I don't want him fighting this person and that person. This is the guy we want. Let's try to make it happen. So I think, the pull and sway of Jay Prince and even Bob Arum, I heard him in an interview actually defer to Jay Prince, is like the guy who handles certain stuff for him because he really don't seem, he really don't seem to know how to market certain fighters or handle certain fighters. And he got Jay Prince kind of has his hand in the careers of some of those fighters because he can't do it.
I mean, he keep the black fighters in line that he can't handle. Is that basically what he?
Well, I don't think it's a matter of keeping them in line. I think it's a matter of trying to navigate them through certain situations, put them in the best possible situations. I think that's what Jay Prince is kind of trying to do. But I don't know. I'm pretty sure all of them ain't signed to the same type of deal with him. But I think Shakur is kind of in a situation with Jay Prince like Floyd was when Floyd was with Jay Prince, from my understanding.
Yeah, and that's exactly like we said. We know there were situations with that, but like I said, whatever muscle brought it in. The truth of the matter, if you're 140 pounds below, top rank is where you got to work with, and that stuff is managed to a certain point. I don't think he wanted to sacrifice Valdez this early because I think Valdez is a good fighter, but I think this is Shakur's Diego Corrales moment. He's going to go in there and really do something, and then we're going to see from that point on, and it's going to be a career defining fight. It's probably the best fight that we've had in the lower weights where two guys are basically at their peak fighting at that at those weights. So. I don't necessarily think Bob was signing up for that, but like I said, there's additional pressure that's going on, and it's like he has to make a statement because, like I said, Bud was loyal and he did a lot of things that he was basically said on there in the show. Because like I said, once I saw blaming Bud about that stuff a while back, I think he really was convinced that, you know, this situation between, you got Bomac in there, like you said, he's his advisor saying, yeah, we're going to get these fights done. And it just never came to fruition, you know? And so me criticizing his schedule, that's a fact.
Hey, would it be safe to say? Would it be safe to say Bomac is not no Jay Prince? Like Jay
No,
Prince got
Very safe to say
way
he's
more
no
pool,
Jay
huge,
Prince.
safe to say.
way more pool than Bomac, man. Like I'm gonna put way more respect on Jay Prince. You know what I'm saying? Word and authority in the game than I would Bomac. You know what I'm saying? Bomac could just be getting told anything, and Jay Prince been in the game long enough. Well, he ain't gonna just accept anything. So he gonna get the best from his deal out of Bob than Bomac. You know what I'm saying? That's why they out of that contract right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think so. I think, anything Jay Prince put his hands on, or, what I'm saying, put his stake in, I think he gonna operate at a certain level, or he ain't gonna bother. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like the man, the name speak for itself. I mean, I ain't gonna say Bomac, ain't got, some sway, because Bomac brokered that deal that, when Bud restructured his contract, and it also wasn't just for Bud. You notice all them other guys ended up fighting on ESPN too. And he got a stable of fighters, and they benefited from it as well. But you still talking about Jay Prince, and it just, the body of work to me just don't compare. Especially when I know Jay Prince ain't just a manager, and he got other stuff going on. But I think when you look at Jay Prince and you look at a guy that's a quasi promoter,
But
manager, and trainer, compared to Jay Prince, it just ain't no comparison.
we also heard the guy on Burning the Boxer channel describe the lies and the BS that was being fed to Bomac or whoever is running that deal. You know what I'm saying? That's why they up out of it right now. Is they was all getting lies and getting drug around with BS. We don't see that with Shakur Stevenson. You know what I'm saying? Shakur Stevenson getting basically what he want or when he wanted.
Well, I
And
think that
if he
I,
don't, if
well, I think that what King of King was alluding to was that, potentially he might have just been getting taken for a ride, and then all of a sudden they got traction, and it really, rubber really hit the road. So it's possible that all of this other stuff might have had something to do with it, because we kept hearing Bob come out talking about Lomachenko versus Shakur, and or Shakur versus Bichelle, and all this other silly stuff. And the whole time, Shakur coming out saying he want Valdez, and then Valdez was kind of being dismissive. Then all of a sudden, he started talking like, yeah, he wanted the Shakur fight, but he ain't got no offer. So, what I'm saying? It could be
Exactly.
validity on both sides, you know what I'm saying? But I definitely ain't going to sit here and dismiss Jay Prince as being an integral figure or a piece of that happening, man. I mean, if he didn't want it to happen, it wouldn't happen. So
yeah,
I'm sure he made it happen.
that's what I was trying to say before you cut me off. That
My bad.
Shakur Stevenson will put the fighters that he want out on blast. You know what I'm saying? We could really tell if they don't want to fight him or not in the position that he's in. You know what I mean? Because Bob basically answers those questions off top. That's up to the other fighter. You know what I'm saying? It's like no if ands or buts like it was when we hear, the Pacquiao versus Bud talk type of thing. If you understand what I'm trying to get to,
Hey, but
this ain't
Oh,
really
I
got nothing
understand.
to do with Bud. I'm just talking about Bomac being a manager and the management that Shakur is up under. Because it seems like Shakur, when he called these fighters out, they you can tell it ain't the contracts. It's these fighters that don't want to fight him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I think the biggest thing about that is let's keep it real, man. Even with that, whatever management you had, Bob Aaron was already starting to bring out that black guys are boring propaganda. He was already starting that shit with Shakir as well, and that's the strategy that he's been using to downgrade fighters. So at the end of the day, if if he's doing that, then it's still like I haven't seen no management team stop him from doing that. So, like I said, where he was openly, blatantly being disrespectful to Bud and them, I promise you, and Bud wasn't saying nothing. I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, Bud ain't no weirdo. Or then like, everybody went, oh, he's this and he's chasing behind Bob. It's like he probably got that in his contract. He can't say nothing adverse against this dude in the public. But he was already starting that stuff with Shakur. We all heard it. Shakur's boring. He don't do, like. Why are we even saying that? Why is that every time some black fighter in your stable starts being dominant, you start bringing up something that's irrelevant? Like it is what it is, So, like I say, regardless of what management you have, this game plan is still always the same for Bob Arum and them, and he likes to control fighters. And the truth of regardless of what contract you sign with, they're getting 30 goddamn %. Like so. It is what it is, that's a significant chunk. So when you like what you guys saying about the Bowmec deal that he negotiated, and then realizing there was some intricacies in that contract that they weren't aware of where they were, they missed some key things. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter what contract you have. If you have somebody getting 30%, that's significant.
That's a
No
lot
matter
of
where
money.
you at. Yeah, that's huge.
But don't you got to ask yourself 30% of what? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you ain't getting those big fights, constantly getting those big fights where you're getting 10, 20 million, 40 million, you know what I'm saying? You only getting these $1 million fights, 30% of $1 million. That don't, you know what I mean? You're not going to end up with no million.
Hey,
Yeah,
I
you're
want to
right.
say,
You're right.
hey, let me throw this in real quick about Bob Arum. I was reading this article not that long ago, and the reason they Mayweather didn't want to fuck with him no more is because he wanted to market himself to the urban community, and Bob Arum didn't even understand the concept of that. That shit was like foreign to him. He didn't even understand that they were potential consumers. The people that Bob Arum wanted to promote to, them motherfuckers was older. They ain't even understanding a young person like Mayweather. So that goes against that narrative of when he be saying black fighters can't sell. It might not necessarily be that. I know it ain't that because the number one selling, somebody need to go on mute, man. But the number one selling fighter of all time was a black fighter, Mayweather. So it ain't about black fighters can't sell. It's about you can't promote to the urban community. And that's something that he probably still ain't figured out to this day. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, and that's why I'm glad he ain't gonna get a piece of this fight. And you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like the he don't deserve to make money off of this fight. You know what I'm saying? And I know that ain't my place as a fan, you know what I'm saying, to be worried about the money. But I feel like, you know what I'm saying, just the fact that he takes that position, like why should he get a cut of this mega fight that he really, you know what I'm saying,
Being
he
hated
really
on.
wasn't able to
Been
he
hating
wasn't
on.
really able to put it together. Right, exactly.
No, he been hating on that motherfucker.
Right.
Let's put it together.
Yeah. So why should he be able to get? And that's what. And I remember. Do y'all remember when um Mayweather was trying to get Pacquiao to get away from Bob Arum and told him he'll make that fight?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? He didn't. Floyd didn't want Mayweather eating off. I mean, Floyd didn't want Bob Arum eating off of him.
Well, it's all pretty much in the wrap right now. Like Trey brought up, we got a lot of Undisputeds on deck. A lot of undisputed fights possibly to be made on deck. Charlo Castano,
Hey,
Haney.
yeah, I'm about to say, Eldar brought up Haney and two women that's fighting on the undercard of Serrano now.
Yeah, I was riding through
Yeah,
all that.
Franchon
So
Cruz Design and Aline Cedarwood.
Hey, ain't Baumgartner finna get potentially gonna get a big fight too?
she got
Her,
a fight coming up.
Yeah,
her and who?
she gonna fight Choi. She got a belt like Japanese chick. She got a belt.
Both
Then
both of them got belts.
right, and then she gonna fight Michaela Mayer for the
Michaela Mayer.
undisputed.
Michaela Mayer, that's the one I was thinking about. That's what I was
Right.
thinking. But
That's the
yeah, I
fight.
remember talking about Choi too. You're right.
Yeah, so as boxing fans, as hardcore boxing fans, we got a lot to look forward to, and we passed the point of shoveling dirt to Crawford's side or to Spence side. We should be way past that. Everything that was said in the past, okay, that's like we all know, that's water up under the bridge now. The only thing we should be sitting back, pretty much have a stack of cigars to your left and your drink to the right, your TV straight down the middle with Marlo in the corner coming out the speaker to tell us blow by blow. Because I was excited about Ugas and Spence fighting, I am that excited now because I know Crawford and Spence is on deck. I know that Cambosis and Haney is on deck. I know Charlo Castano is on deck, and Fashawn Cruz, Baumgart. We can't forget that Clarissa Shields is not fighting for Undisputed, but she got a fight. Wait, her fight already passed. No, she got a fight coming up. So it's excitement all around the board. So
I think Shields gonna fight is for Undisputed again. But Shields already been Undisputed with in that weight class, but I think that would be for Undisputed again.
Okay.
Want to be a defense.
So that's excitement everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of how you look at it. And another point that I heard, this fight with Spence and Crawford is much more bigger than it's much more bigger than Mayweather and Pacquiao for the simple reason they're doing something that Mayweather and Pacquiao didn't do. They're going to be fighting for Undisputed. Floyd Mayweather can't lay that claim.
I want to piggyback off that too, MZ. It's some meat left on the bone in the fight. That's what got me excited. Earl 32, man. The man ain't 38 or no shit like that. Crawford, I don't know how old is he, about 35?
34.
34, going on 35.
Shit. And then and he looked great in his last fight against Porter. Double check, hook, loop, and left hand to the body and all that kind of shit. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Hey, Earl looked great in his last fight, man. These folks is looking good, man, and we potentially got these folks about to fight. I can't say that we definitely gonna get the fight because I don't know what a man gonna do. But I think I see enough to be optimistic about this shit.
And to go what you said,
and these guys both coming into this fight, stopping guys that had never been stopped before. You know what I'm saying? Floyd and Manny didn't come into their fight under no situation like that. Manny had got knocked out a couple fights earlier.
Just to correct myself, he would be Choi South Korean.
Hey, even more significant though. These are two brothers, and I'm not even getting on the black and white tip. This is some history that motherfucker just overlooking. You know what I'm saying? That's from here, from America. Two brothers that's finna be in a historical fight, man. You know what I'm saying? It's already here though. Like, you know, motherfuckers say I'm not gonna be this, I'm not gonna say that. Like, we got everything we want. We got the call out. Motherfuckers been asking for the call out. We got Stephen A. Smith and all them talking about the goddamn fight. Everything is here. You know what I'm saying? Our only thing we ain't got it yet is the alert from ESPN saying that the motherfucker signed. I think it's too close for that, right? Like, don't you got to be 60 days out before the fight? 90 days out before the
fight? Earl has to be out of the fight game for a little while because he just had a fight. They have a certain amount of time.
Yeah, on box rate, they suspend your license for a certain
time. But you still can end a fight and announce a fight the same day. You know what I'm saying? Like Triple G, when him and Canelo agreed to fight, you know what I'm saying? It was like right as Canelo beat whoever, they called Triple G to the ring, and they pretty much made that fight official. They announced it. Everything was already ironed out. Same thing with AJ and Klitschko. You know what I'm saying? So it could be announced even if he's suspended.
Dilo, I know that, bro, but then both of them was on the zone. This man ain't signed the PBC yet.
No, I was just you said is it too early for the fight to be announced? I was saying if they actually had it ironed out, you know what I'm saying, they could go ahead and announce the fight tomorrow if they got it ironed out, even if Spence is suspended.
And one thing, I don't want to take away from everybody else's, but all the fights, when you think about it, every fight that we just named, be it a female's fight or a male's fight, all those fights that have an undisputed tag dangling from them are great fights. They are all fights where the fighters actually have something to prove, or the fighters all look good in their last fights. So this is a smorgasbord of undisputed. You could get Crow and all kind of stuff going to be slanging across the tables when it's all said and done. And as a boxing fan, I'm excited. I'm going to go ahead and be like that kid in the candy store. Hey, there's only thing to reach for is undisputed. If somebody breaks my heart and do something different, then woe them. You know, be it Spence or be it Crawford, Castano, Charlo, whoever it is, I would be disappointed if anybody goes a different route from what's already set. Simple and plain. That's just what it is. I'm not gonna let anything change my excitement for saying, man, we got some undisputed fights on deck. We just waiting for them to ink the paper.
Yeah, but like that's basically what I was trying to say. Though I was trying to say that we in a position we ain't never been in. Bro. This motherfucker Crawford is a free agent. He can go where he want to go, do whatever he want to do. It ain't no we got to worry about Bob and what Bob say or what this person say no more. You know what I'm saying? Spence already put it out there. He got the call out. You got everything. Everything is lined up. Spence just fought on Saturday. You know what I'm saying? Like, what more do we want? But I'm expecting some news to break. I'm expecting the date to be signed. I'm expecting a lot. I'm expecting to hear that Bud signed a multi-fight deal with PBC or some shit, Showtime or some shit. I don't know which one of them companies, but that's the first news we're gonna hear. I think.
Marlo, you gonna have me running to my phone every time I hear that little ESPN alert thing now, thinking that they announced something around this name fight.
Hey, I'm telling you, brother, I've been watching this shit for too long, and it always worked the same fucking way. It always worked. Once you hear motherfucker do the call out and Stephen A. and them talking about it, I ain't got no other choice but to be way high about this fight finna happen sooner than we think. You know what I'm saying? Way sooner than we think. I got no other choice, and all the stars align. Bob Arum not in the way.
Hey,
Yeah, they don't discuss
Espinosa,
fantasy fights, man. They only talk about when they like Marlo said, when that hits the mainstream, that stuff is already in, whatever PR guys they got are already putting the fillers out. Like, y'all
Yeah,
better jump on this now because we gonna
yeah.
be talking about it, and you guys could be like, yo, we the first one that what sized it up and blah, that's
Hey,
pretty much where we at right
Hold
now.
hey,
on,
but to be
because they
fair,
lied to
Can I
us one
finish my?
time. They
they
did
talked about
lie.
Wilder and Joshua.
That's right. They lied like a motherfucker.
Joshua and Fury too.
Yeah,
Nah,
so
but I think that was. But look, you guys, the dynamic
But
that I'll put
yeah,
on
y'all.
that is
But
Eddie
that's Bob
Hearn
Arum.
was
That's Bob Arum doing.
yeah,
That
that was
come on now. That was like Bob Arum. We talking about two fighters that's not under ESPN.
yeah.
Bud is not with ESPN, or Spence is nowhere near ESPN,
hold
and they
on,
got
but Wilder and Joshua ain't either.
No, hey, but that was
no.
Eddie. That was Eddie Hearn, bro. Eddie Hearn never had no intention to. He hasn't done business with any major outlets in America. So, yeah, I think he might have sold them a bill of goods, and they
No,
weren't
y'all
aware of
forgot
him as
something.
that yet.
Y'all forgot that Joshua came down here on a tour through ESPN. Remember, went to the basketball games and all that old shit.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
they
that
duped
don't
them.
stop. That don't stop ESPN. Look, we talking
They
about
hey, they
the
didn't know his name.
sleaziest. We
They
talking
did. They
about
didn't even
the
know. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to say. Like it seemed like that shit was paid, bro. That's why I said, can I finish my thought though? That
yeah.
fear, like I'm just saying, like speaking for me before I spoke. I'm saying these guys is not even under this banner. These guys are supposed to be up under a banner they be hating on. You know what I'm saying? And that's supposed to be big news to them. They're not gonna turn down no good ass headline just because they don't like this other company. You know what I'm saying? It's something in the works. It's something in the works for the call out to happen and then to be right on mainstream in a mainstream conversation and got Stephen A breaking down the fight like he know what the hell he talking about. You know what I'm saying?
Stephen
That
A.
shit.
can't break down no fight.
Yeah, I mean, did y'all see it? Y'all probably didn't see what I'm saying for me to be looking at it the same way I looked at it. So y'all have to go watch it. Stephen A was trying to break down the fight, brother, and Kendrick Perkins is from Texas, and he going with Spence just because he's from Texas. He made that clear. He definitely didn't try to break it down. He did say that he got that grit. Spence got that grit and everything, that machine behind him. But Stephen A tried to break down the fight and looked like a goddamn fool, y'all. This motherfucker didn't know what to say up there. Shit looked
All type
crazy.
of forehead action.
And the first thing came to my mind
Talking
listening
shit.
to him, I was like, oh, this must be in the works. You know what I'm saying? It got to be in the works for this weirdo to come
That
out.
was on some who sent you? Who sent you
Yeah,
type shit.
yeah, that's how I felt, D-Lo. Who sent this motherfucking weirdo to try to break down the fight? He ain't know nothing about none of these motherfuckers. But, like, I mean, it's here, y'all. Like, I mean, the only thing we ain't got yet is the goddamn date and the press conference and all that shit. We don't never see the goddamn signing. Only thing we ain't got yet is the goddamn date. So first thing first, we got to see Earl
And
sign
the venue.
and the venue. So first thing first, we got to see Bud sign this goddamn deal. I bet you it's gonna be like a 2-fight deal or something.
And that could already be done. You know what I'm saying? That could already be done, and they just ain't publicizing it yet. I mean, people been talking about it.
Yeah, they're
but
gonna announce it, and then right after that, D-Lo, that fight gonna be announced. Watch, I'm just mark my word. That's just how it always be going down. You know what I mean? And I'm that's why I'm so out. I ain't saying no ifs, none of that. I'm saying when.
Hey, I still got the underdog fight though. I ain't gonna lie. I strongly feel like we gonna get this fight, but I have a slight underdog. Errol Spence versus Jamel Crawford, because I have been hearing people talking about that. That would be for Undisputed. It's a big fight. Earl been talking about moving up.
Why you having such a hard time saying Jamel Charlo?
What's his name?
Jamel Charlo.
You said Jamel Crawford.
I don't know why I keep on.
You gonna fight him the same night,
though. But look, that's my dark horse.
Hey, but Spence said the only way they'll fight is it got to be some hell of a money for both of them to feed their family. He said that, so I doubt that.
That's why I say it's my dark horse. I think that the Crawford fight is the fight that's gonna take place, but my dark horse fight is Earl and Charlo.
I don't know. The trainer wasn't feeling that when they were talking about it.
Cause look, y'all, Spence did say, take out the money, all that shit. We ain't got to worry about nothing. We both gonna sit at the table and make it make sense for both of them. And he had been speaking that, you know what I'm saying, he trying to make motherfuckers eat. He's been saying that. I don't think he got no hatred for Bud to where he just don't want to see Bud eat. Especially Bud ain't over there no more. If y'all understand where I'm coming from, Bud is on his own now. So I'm pretty sure that it'll come to something fair, man. It'll come to something that Bud can agree on. Especially when they, whatever kind of negotiation, however, because I don't be in those rooms, however that is supposed to go, whatever paperwork they bring to the table, I still think he'll give Bud a fair shake to make this fight happen. So I ain't got no type of ifs on that motherfucker. It's when.
Yeah, it's a lot to negotiate. You know what I'm saying? Like we always talk about, you know what I'm saying, or hear mention about purse splits. But you know what I'm saying? And even when they announce it, they may say, such and such gets this purse split, that purse. But it's so much more to negotiate than a purse split. And a lot of times, that's what the other things is what makes a guy comfortable with accepting a certain split. It's like, okay, well, I didn't get the split I want, but you're gonna give me this, and this, or you're gonna give me this, and I don't have to give up. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot that go into that, and a lot of that is why we don't need to be consumed with it. You know what I'm saying? Because if we really knew all about everything that they have to negotiate, we probably, I ain't gonna say us because we don't care that much, but the people who really worry about that, they spend way too much time trying to figure that all out, and then they worry about that every single time is a big fight. Well, who's gonna get this? Well, who's gonna get that? Well, what about this and what about that? At least at this point, most people know to worry about is the split, which I don't even care about that. As long as they come to the table, I don't need to know who making what. I don't care if somebody got raked over the coals or whether somebody got way too much or whatever. As long as we get the fight and we get it at a price that's affordable, which I don't see that being a issue, because most people, I've been saying for years, I pay $100 for it, so I don't see it being more than that. So
at least gonna be 75.
So yeah, so I think as fans, we gonna get what we want. So I don't think we even need to be consumed with a lot of that other stuff. And you know what I'm saying? But if it start to look like it's gonna stall out, of course that's the first place fans are gonna go. Like, oh, somebody must be being this, that, and the other, you know what I'm saying? And you just don't know. It's gonna be a lot of speculation, but it could be held up behind a venue. Like it could drag out. It could drag out because it could be 7 or 8 places putting up a bunch of money trying to get the fight. And until they get that settled, they can't settle everything else. So, you know what I'm saying? We don't know what could be an issue, but I'm pretty sure there's a lot of entities want to be involved in this fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, this is almost a fight that they could put it up for purse bid. Anybody in boxing would want to be in it.
Because it involves sponsors, a lot of sponsors. But look, I wasn't speaking on that. I was saying
no. I wasn't saying you. I was just talking about it. Okay.
I was just saying, because I was saying Spence took all that out for nobody to say nothing. You know what I'm saying? He said all that shit was just shit talk. All that shit was just big boy talk. But it's a time now, you know what I'm saying? All that shit come out the window. You know what I'm saying? So all that shit made it even more confident, if you understand what I'm trying to say, for me to take my if. I ain't trying to convince nobody else, but to take my if off the table. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't heard a motherfucker talk like this.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I ain't heard a
Hey,
motherfucker talk
hey,
like
Marlo,
that.
can I pose a question to the panel? Just a real short question. And I ain't saying anybody even care, but just out of curiosity, you know, what are y'all? I ain't saying what do y'all hope the fight is gonna be. What do y'all think the fight might land?
Vegas.
Where the big stadium or like T-Mobile?
Mm,
Whatever the biggest thing in Vegas, D-Lo, got to. If
yeah, I would have to say the big one.
Yeah, but they don't usually put these
MGM,
type fights on. That's why. Not well, Allegiant is the big stadium I'm talking about is the Raider Stadium. I heard it mentioned too, because you know that was supposed to be the venue for Wilder Fury too. So that's why I was saying, you know, the big stadium or one of them places like
It's
T-Mobile or
not. It
somewhere
ain't
like that.
set up for boxing the way, from what I understand. And you know, there's certain things you got to do, and you got to take into account some about Vegas, because I think that's an open. Is it an open stadium or is it a closed stadium?
I think it.
I
I
think
think
that's
it's
both. I
It's a
think
retractable.
it's
dome.
both. I think it's
Okay,
both.
yeah. So it does have a retractable roof. Okay, so there's a lot of things. There's a lot of logistics you got to put into that. With the way the ticket prices are in Vegas, I don't see them putting a fight in a forum that big. It's going to be somewhere like at the MGM, the new T-Mill, that's new place they got built over there. They just the way fights are in Vegas. They make anything in Vegas. Like I said, recently visited there. They make more money off smaller crowds in very exclusive. I mean, 20,000 is a lot of people, but it's still like this exclusive, intimate setting. Because at some point in time, you get to a point where you have a stadium feel like that. And be honest with, if you're the dude back in the certain rows, you're not even watching the fight. You're looking up at the screen. So it's just not. I think for the best venue for boxing, if it goes to Vegas, it's going to be one of them forums like the MGM or one of
It
those
got a
places.
whole. It got. Let's keep this in mind when we think about what we picked. It got a whole 40,000 or more. That's what we just saw. That's what we just witnessed. Most of the movies. They say it was 40,000 people in that motherfucker. So wherever it goes, it got to be the biggest stadium. You know what I'm saying? It got to be where it can hold at least 40,000 motherfuckers. I'll say Vegas too, though, y'all, because I already heard Bud say it got to be a neutral spot. So that's definitely gonna be in negotiations. I know for sure that go in negotiations. Those where they gonna fight at and the
Tell his
venues.
scary ass to come to Dallas.
Yeah, that's and then look.
The motherfucker fought Ricky Burns and all them over in their home turf. Come tell his scary ass to come to Dallas. Talking
You
about they
sound,
need a
hey,
Yeah,
you
it
neutral
sound
ain't
like
site.
you're
far. It ain't
saying,
far drive from Nebraska, man. They
And,
got
and
y'all
look,
already over that corn
and look,
Craig,
drive
you
right
sound
on
like them
that down
fans
there.
that wanted Crawford to fight Spence to fight Crawford right out the gate, right off the rip.
That ain't
but
the
look, I
same
said that.
thing.
I said that because it ain't that many stadiums that can hold that many people, though, y'all. And Bud know this. Like Bud is a
Shoot, we
professional
we
boxer.
got a bunch of 100,000 seat stadiums. I mean, they
Yeah,
would be
but they not.
considered
They
for
not.
boxing.
Yeah, they not. When they had, they would have had them all over the place. They would have had them all over the place. Then, Dino. It's only a few places boxers.
Well, I mean, I don't think they feel like that people care enough about the sport to actually fill them up. I mean, there's only a few fighters and fights that can be made over here where people would actually come out. I mean, they don't really try it, you know.
Well, I don't think they're gonna go off their blueprint when shit been working. That's what I was trying to explain.
Well, I
What
mean,
I was trying to explain that it's
the
only a
reason
few.
the reason I posed the question is because you know, the thing about having it in a stadium setting, like I'm thinking even the big stadium in Vegas is you can have lower tickets, get more people in there, and still make a lot of money. But when they put the fights on at the casinos, those are the fights that break the gates and stuff like that. And they like, so the people behind the scenes, they're probably pushing for where can we make the most. Well, I ain't gonna say probably. We know they are. They don't care about how many people can see the fight. They care about how much money they can make. And if you look at not even just in the U.S. Globally, the fights that hold the record for the biggest live gates are in those 16,000, 15,000 seat arenas in Vegas.
Yeah, this
So
ain't the
that's why.
UK, bro. So they don't care about how many people come to the fight. So like I said, but to be for a fight experience, just saying somebody I've been at all kinds of sporting events. At some point in time, when the place is too big, you get to a certain section, you're not getting a good advantage of the fight. So it's
Can we go?
so at the end of the day, they
Can we
rather
go by?
have
Can we go by
20,000 in
history?
person. Yeah, they
History
rather.
says they always want to put it at the biggest venue, brother. I don't give a. That's why they fall in Africa. They bust open that. I'm just putting it out there that they're not going to it's not gonna be. It's gonna be somewhere where they can have a big capacity of people. You know
That
what I'm
was
saying?
money. Money was the driver behind that, Marlo. They offered the most money. That's why
Yeah,
they went over there and got that bag.
yeah. You gonna have motherfuckers like Jerry Jones. Me and somebody else were talking. I think last week. They were saying that Vegas might put up the most money because like who gonna outbid Vegas? You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Gary
So
Jones is the only one. If he comes in there
Jerry
heavy
Jones.
and he drops down a heavy ass amount of to me, ideally, the only thing that I say about that is that Bud to his intelligence is not going to go fight that. I don't think there's any amount of money that he's going to go fight it in Texas.
And that's
His
why I want
fans
to ask.
will travel. I think he'll have a significant presence there. I'm saying like if you got a stadium and you get 80,000 people in there, we've seen 75 for a Spence fight. I think he got enough fans that'll travel. That's a very short trip from Nebraska. So, I mean, that's, you got to look into that, but he's going to think on himself like, damn, this is going to be a tall task. It's bad enough I'm fighting potentially probably the second best fighter in boxing because if he says he's number one, and then, damn, I'm in his hometown on top of that.
Yeah, he ain't no Ricky
Hey,
Burns.
that's why I put all that out there because my answer would be Vegas. If you ask me, I would say Vegas. You know what I'm saying? Because that's who
And
put the most money, and they can put that motherfucker anywhere in any one of them motherfuckers and pack out some shit. So I mean, I would say Vegas though. But what would y'all answer be? What would y'all
And
say?
plus, it's fair. It's fair. I mean, it is still sports, so you do want the motherfuckers to have a fair shake. You know what I'm saying? I was just talking shit about the motherfuckers being in Dallas. Man, I think it should be in somewhere like Vegas.
Yeah, because
I agree with
Just as
Vegas.
I
long as
took
it's not LA. If that's the only place
yeah,
I
I
swear
was
to
waiting to
God,
say
please don't have it be there. That's the
not
worst
at
place to have a
Staples.
fight.
I was gonna say I don't like watching fights at Staples. You know what I'm saying? I don't, and it shouldn't matter, but it just don't seem it don't seem authentic to me. But I like that, and I know they wouldn't fight the fight there out there in Carson. You know what I'm saying? That seemed like a real fight.
wow, they
You
got
know
that
what I'm
new, they got a new stadium, the
saying?
Rams stadium. They got a
Oh,
new
okay,
football
okay, okay,
stadium.
okay. I got
But I'm saying, but we going as far as who going. I don't think LA gonna put that money up. I think Jerry Jones he got vested interest in Spence. You know what I'm saying? He behind Spence, and I know Vegas see the money in that fight. We'll see the potential money they'll make on that fight. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say my pick came to Vegas and solidified it. Is Bud saying that it's gonna be in a neutral spot. You know what I'm saying?
you. Yeah, I think they said I think they agreed. I mean, I know we talking about the old stuff, but I remember when they talked in person, Spitz actually said he actually agreed that what I'm saying he'd go to Vegas because he know he agreed that a neutral site was cool. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, the people who putting it together might say, "Hey, these people coming with the most money. This is what we're gonna put in the fight," and they gonna either have to acquiesce to it or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like what I'm saying you got to go where the money is. If the people putting up the money, they say they want y'all fighting on the moon, then y'all fighting on the moon, or y'all ain't fighting.
Right, y'all fighting the quicksand, motherfucker. You know?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch that on TV because I don't believe they made it to the moon.
This nigga
Yeah,
with his
they'll be.
logic.
I'm
Hey,
hypothetically speaking, god dang it.
I'm just messing with y'all, man.
Well, I know you as big homie. I like to say it's exciting to even talk about the possibilities of where it's going to be. That's why I'm saying I just it's just like I said, whoever bring I just wanted to do huge numbers. I want the face of boxing to be two brothers going head to head, doing it old school, taking all the bread and having just one of the best fight. Like literally, like I said, this is probably one of the biggest fights since the turn of the century. Where, like I said, where you have two guys that are just seriously at their elite, regardless of what's going on. Earlson come all the way back, and damn Jim Gray always asking him about this car wreck. This shit is 3 years old. Come up with a new fucking dialect. Damn, that dude is
Hey,
annoying. But
hopefully a lot of people that stream actually buy the fight also. All the shit talk actually pay for this fight. You know what I'm saying?
I
That's
paid
what
my
I'm
Hyphy
little
go Hyphy gonna break
75.
up in the piggy bank and actually pay for it.
Hey,
nah,
hey, one
he
thing
got
though, I kind of think that it might like not disappoint, but it might not reach the levels that we think it will. Because like when I think about the highest selling type fights, they normally have an element of racism in them. Boxing has used racism to promote fights going all the way back to Daniel Mendoza, I think in the late 1700s or the early 1800s. You know what I'm saying? Like the biggest fight, Mayweather and Canelo, Mayweather, De La Hoya, they have that element of that tribalism. But since this is two black fighters, we ain't got that element. So I do
Yeah.
think that's something that could play a factor in how big the fight sells and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Still
Guess
gonna
what
be a
it do? Guess
classic
what?
for the age.
Guess what it do got though, Trey? The element of drama. They got some good
Yes.
footage they can pull up. About, you know what I'm saying? How they talking to each other. It's all gonna look urban, especially to these young cats who like that kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers in hoodies by the soda machine talking crazy. You know what I'm saying? Oh, they gonna pull up nothing but drama to sell this fight. Watch. All the drama, all the shit talking moments. You know what I mean? All that kind of shit. It's gonna be pulled up to sell this fight because the world always cater to drama than real sensible conversations. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's a good point that you made, and I would add to that. It probably would be a good idea for Crawford and Earl to kind of open up probably a little more than they normally do, because they are two naturally reserved type guys. They don't they don't like to over talk. You know what I'm saying? They like to kind of be reserved with their words and stuff. I don't think this is probably be the time to do that. I think they should probably open up and talk a little shit to each other.
Oh, they
You know what
will.
I'm saying?
Yeah, two introverts, and the crazy thing is they seem to be getting along better now than ever. But you know that's gonna change when pen get put to paper, in my opinion, because both of them are actually just natural competitors, and they both think they're. I think if there were ever two fighters who actually thought that they were better than the other guy, it's these two. And so I think it's gonna come to a head, and then you got. I don't know about on Spencer's side, but well, I'm pretty sure they both got instigators that hang around them. So it's gonna be, even if they ain't doing it, they gonna have the little pistol starters with them that's gonna jump it off,
Yeah,
and they
that
gonna
dude with Bud
it
is
gonna
irritating, man. He got a dude that's always yelling out stuff. I
Hey,
swear to God.
Spence got on his head. Spence got on his head. Like, who is your cheerleader?
Hey, he be doing that. Look, keep every video that they show lately. When I was watching the fight last night, and Bud was watching it, that nigga was there saying so. I'm like, damn, this nigga. He was like, oh, look at these bitches, nigga. Like I swear he is always saying something, man. I'm like, that motherfucker. Hey, look, I want that Spence that was sitting there at that table with Kell Brook, and he was like, what is a chocolate brownie?
what are those chocolate brownies?
Yo, he
Hey,
said, man, get
hey,
the hell out of here.
hey, I do.
Hey, he
Hey,
say, that's corny.
I do see a level of shit talking though, y'all, because just based off of that sound bite, I'm coming for Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford coming for your shit next, nigga. You know what I'm saying? They got a like nice little shit talking sound bite that they gonna use. I'm sure Bud or one of his people gonna have something to say about that shit.
Hey, but that shit is authentic though,
Hey, they
man.
both
If you
got
look at
they
them when
both
they were,
got sisters that are very very boisterous as well.
yeah.
Yeah,
Hey,
don't
when they were
forget
face to
something.
face, that's like you could tell, man. Look, I've grown up around enough black people and see when they stand face to face and see when it's real. And when they were standing face to face, that was real. That's real tension and like, yeah, I got something for you. And both dudes believe it. And like I said, they got to show it. They
I'm
got to show
stopping
it.
you.
Hey, I'm pretty sure Earl gonna in the press conference gonna have something to say about the cheerleaders Bud been having all on social media and all that kind of shit in the press conference.
I got a question. I just saw like a comment my boy Eric Carr, salute to him in it. I just got my phone on and shit so I can see the chat. Salute to everybody in the chat, man. Salute to my boy Eric Carr was tied with me for third place on the Channel Ross. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you held it down. But he said, I hear you, Tregs, but the world is tired of fights not happening. That this fight might shockingly bring out an audience that people didn't expect. I think that's a good point. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, my question is the winner of this fight, Earl Spence and Terrence Crawford, do y'all think that fighter could leapfrog Canelo in the
I do.
eyes of the people?
I
So
don't see nobody Canelo done fought that is better than either one of these or has the prestige of either one of these guys. You know what I'm saying? So that he's beaten. I don't look at Triple G like I look at Spence and Crawford. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying? So I
Shout
think so. And then they may be fighting again.
out to Junior the Super Dog, Armin Brown, salute sis.
But in the
Spirit,
eyes of what people? Because
spirit,
like you said, it's an element of racism in boxing. So
spirit of justice, salute.
Yeah. Hey, I'm talking in my eyes. That's all.
Hey,
okay, so but look, the reason I asked that is I wouldn't be surprised if it's a certain segment of our population that choose to kind of boycott this fight. They might not say it like openly, but they might boycott it anyway because they don't want nobody to threaten Canelo. If this fight go out here and sell big, everybody celebrate these fighters. Folks ain't, you know what I'm saying? They might say these fighters is ranked above Canelo pound for pound, and now they done went out there and sold a bunch of pay-per-views and all that kind of shit. So
hey,
I
look,
think they might feel
Canelo,
threatened by that.
here goes some words
Canelo's
right
the
here that you never.
establishment, bro.
Here goes
That's
some
what.
words that you never heard. Canelo been in the ring with when they gonna announce this fighter. Former undisputed 140-pound champion, three belt unified champion. Like this, a lot of prestige that's gonna be on the line in this one fight. You ain't heard that. Like Canelo had all them. He didn't face those kind of guys that's gonna be in the ring tonight with the kind of accolades that's gonna be on the line tonight. He ain't been in that kind of fight.
I understand what you're saying, but like what you talking about as far as that like pound for pound, that was part of what I was saying. But really the main part I was thinking is potentially like popularity, like to go along with that. You know what I'm
Hey,
saying?
Trey X, what I'll say on this at the end of the day, like that's gonna be irrelevant because the truth of the matter is we could like Canelo can go out here and get his ass whooped by Charlo, by um I can't I'm about to call him Alexander, but the other dude,
Bivol,
no, the
Andre,
left-handed
Boo
guy,
Boo,
Andre.
Andre.
Yeah, he could go out to get by Andre. Bivol could go beat him up, and his fan base is still going to be down. See, look, his like Mexican fan base don't care about you losing; they care about how you fought. So, and it's more popular in that country right now. I mean, to be honest, if we had a dude that was really good, that was actually a good UK fighter that was probably a brother, he'd probably be huge there too. So, popularity, black people, we have too many sports, man. We have too many different like our main sports. Boxing ain't it. I mean, there's a few of us heads that are still around on it, but basketball players would be, what we would be talking about. We have, football players would be where you would send it at first. So popularity will never be competitive in that because we have a lot of options to have sports. Like we dominate a lot of sports. There's not no Mexican quarterback I've never heard of that dominates football. So they just have to tie it to what they have. So of course his popularity is going to always be greater because we just have more options when it comes to athletics. Period. So
I
no,
understand
Hey,
what you're saying, but
I tell you this. I tell you this though. We do got the potential to bring a whole bunch of attention to this fight if motherfuckers, big stars like Magic, LeBron, you know what I'm saying? All the black excellence, you know what I'm saying, the upper echelons of athletes, you know what I'm saying, bring their audience and their followers, you know what I'm saying, eyes and attention to this fight. Uh, that's why I mentioned about, we got Stephen A. talking about it. You got Kendrick Perkins talking about it. You got Michael Irvin is one of Spencer's fans. You had a lot of stars up at that motherfucker. So the more African American stars with a lot of following get into it, that's the bigger the fight. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, what I was trying to ask is the I understand what you're saying, King of Kings, but my question is, do you think fans of fighters like Canelo or maybe even Tyson Fury, he got a pay-per-view coming up this weekend. Do you think they'll be comfortable supporting this fight and blowing this shit up, which could potentially blow up the profile of whoever win the fight, and that could potentially threaten somebody like Canelo as far as popularity? Because they feel real good right now. They're very happy. They feel like they got the number one fighter in the sport. He the number one cash cow, like they like to say, and all that kind of stuff. So do you think they'll be comfortable supporting another fight that could potentially threaten a fighter? You know what I'm saying?
I think so because because the thing with Canelo, he's still always one more fight to regaining that. So I don't know if the Bivol fight's already signed and what date it's for, but let's say he goes in there, he beats Bivol, which is going to be a huge thing to do. That's not an easy fight. People need to not sleep on that. So if that happens, and then we have Crawford and Spence, one of them's going to lose, and let's say Spence wins because that's probably most likely what's going to happen.
Here.
Trash take.
Salute. But let's say Spence wins. Okay, so I know Canelo. Canelo is the reason why Canelo is so successful. He's very aware of his audience. He's very aware of what he can and can't do. So let's say he gets the Bivol win, and he can pull up another substantial opponent. And if he goes out there and gets it done, it catapults him back in play. And then, it starts to change. So at the end of the day, it's fight fans watching fight fans, regardless if you're a Canelo fan. And like I said, you got salty people regardless of what's going on. There's assholes like even, that's going to stream fights and do stupid stuff like that and trying to underplay it. But the best thing, maybe, like I said, for the excitement of sport is to have that happen to Canelo. He get another significant opponent and puts him right back in place. They be like, oh, yeah, Spence has that win over Bud, but, Canelo just beat what's his name, blah, blah, blah. He got all these dudes on his resume. So that regardless, they're going to still have a case.
I got you.
Hey, can I answer that question too?
No.
Yeah, go small motherfucker.
All right. I think I think part of what you're saying, Trey, is already happening in boxing. The not supporting events because you don't want to let these guys get one up, you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that. I think it's been happening between the Spence fans and the Bud fans that were before these guys kind of became rivals. They were supporting both guys heavy. But I think some people intentionally say, well, I ain't buying that fight because, they worried about, they don't want one guy to look, outshine the other guy. So they won't support him and they'll stream his fight. And you know what I'm saying? And I think also the fans of some of these other fighters, just like you were just saying, I think they already are keeping their eyes on who might be next up to, potentially be the cash cow. And they kind of probably turn the other way. Like, nah, I ain't finna support that fight. I'm saving my money for Canelo versus Triple G, Canelo versus Bivol. So that's on pay-per-view now. You know what I'm saying? So I think some of that already goes on. And you know what I'm saying? And it's just, I guess you just market to the people that are willing to come out and pay and support, because you ain't gonna get everybody because people got so many options these days. But you know what I'm saying? So we may never see a fight break the record anytime soon just because of all the other options that people got. You know what I'm saying? It's just a different day.
Yeah, but
I ain't
who
said
cares
all that.
about them at the end of the day, man? Like, the truth of the matter is, anybody that's thinking like that wasn't going to support it either way. I mean, like, we try to find like people that stream fights, like there's an excuse behind it. The reality is these motherfuckers is cheap. Anytime they can come up on something, people going to do it. Like pay-per-views making like the $2-3 million pay-per-views that, like, even MMA, which is supposedly so much more popular, they don't pull pay-per-view sales like that. So it's convenient where you don't have to pay for a fight. But the truth of the matter is, like, if we just go off the muscle of us doing it, that's what they need to be worried about anyway. Those type of people, why would you care? There's not going to be a crossover event. You got enough people in your audience to make this fight huge without any of them buying the fight. So
hey, Eric R over there talking about Bud fans forgot to buy Bud fights.
yeah, Bomac streaming ass.
Yeah, but you even got fighters ain't talking like that though, y'all. Like Bomac, and I heard Bud talking about they stream the fight. You know what I mean? They ain't buying that shit and all that other weird kind of shit. Like, you got fighters actually saying this kind of shit.
Hell, Kovalev fought on his own, and he said he was streaming. He was talking. He did a streaming party on like YouTube or something. And you know what I'm saying, they snatched it down and stuff. But I'm like, this man was fighting on his own. And instead of you know what I'm saying, watch, he basically pulling people away from the zone to his streaming party. So I mean, it goes on.
That's hilarious.
That's why they should have let
Wait. What's the ledge, bro? Don't say them motherfuckers Ellie sent back and other people videos saying what I said on their own Instagram saying that shit. They ain't buying it, they streaming it. Or they ain't watching it and end up tweeting about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not lying. They actually be doing this shit.
Now I'm talking about Kovalev stealing his own shit.
Oh, yeah, so it can get like that though. I agree that, you know what I'm saying, it can get ugly to where it be some separation and motherfuckers feel like they're gonna stream the fight because they fighter, they don't want to see a motherfucker sell no tickets, or they don't want to see, you know what I'm saying? The hate be real. I can see that happening. That's why I always speak on the casual. You know what I'm saying? The people that's in and out. You know what I'm saying? That's not really tuned in like that. Like them the ones you got to catch to make a fight like this really really crack. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's why guys like Mayweather and guys like Canelo were putting these fight dates out ahead of time. You know what I'm saying? Because you got people who only have a certain amount of money that they're gonna put into the sport. So if they got, just say Canelo already saying he fighting in September, and you got Bud and Spence fighting in August, and these guys they don't already put out that they fight in September, you may have a certain number of fans that say, okay, I'm not buying. I mean, we say it sometimes. You know what I'm saying? We ain't buying all these pay-per-views. So they may say, okay, well, I'm supporting Canelo, so that's the pay-per-view I'm buying. I don't know what these other guys are going to get how they live. So and I think that's part of the reason why they go ahead and book these dates ahead of time. I mean, even keep other people from getting them, but I think also to get ahead of the people who aren't going to go out there and just buy pay-per-view after pay-per-view after pay-per-view, and they're going to select that, okay, in a year span, I'm going to buy 4 pay-per-views. And they're going to make sure that if they putting on 2, that they're 2 of the 4 that these select people are buying. I think that plays a part in it too. And I think, Canelo already has a fight supposedly lined up after this, and I think it actually is in September. And it could affect what they do with the where they put the date for Spence versus Crawford.
I gotta agree with that. Because they definitely not gonna try to compete. They're gonna try to draw in every dollar they can. So if it's
I think
September date, we might get December, November.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, I think they're going. That's why I see them pushing it off in there because really they'll have zero competition. Canelo have already done what he needs to do in September, and you leave. But the problem is that's like what's it's April, so we talking about. I mean, what's that like 6, 7 months off? I mean, so
you just got to worry about Floyd coming out with an exhibition fight a week before you fight.
hey, I'm buying that fight. No, I'm just playing. Whatever, man. Hey,
Hey,
that's just him holding on to the last little remnants of getting a check. It's all good.
I want to respond to Eric Carr. Eric Carr said the only guy he see really passing Canelo up is Tank. Earl and Bud will be elevated, but it will eventually die down like Fury after the Wilder fight. I disagree with that last part, bro. That it will die down. I think it's a more significant win than Fury's win over Wilder. I mean, Fury just became the WBC champion when he beat Wilder. He did unseat a 5-year champion with 10 title defenses, and that's cool. Well, he ain't become undisputed and all that shit. This shit with Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence is an instant Hall of Fame fight. You know what I'm saying? Like this guy Hall of Fame ramifications with this shit, and plus is big in the black community. We had a motherfucker tell us a long time ago, man. I ain't gonna say his name. He a smart guy, but we don't really like him. You know what I'm saying? He told us that if you want to be big, like in any type of entertainment, it's really a good thing if you start off on the black side, because you can cross over from black to the other people, but you can't cross over the other way. You can't come from them to us. So by them being with the black community and also having some fans with the peripheral shit, you know what I'm saying? I think the motherfuckers is gonna be in a very elevated position. Whoever wins this fight, especially if they win in a concise, clear and fair manner, like they got a fair shake. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think so too. And the other thing, man, like Tyson Fury, the buzz might have died down for us because we really wouldn't for him in the first place. You know what I'm saying? And even if you look at his fights without Wilder that he fought over here, you know what I'm saying? He wasn't doing no numbers. But look at what he doing over there where he from. All of a sudden he done went back over there and they talking like, you know what I'm saying? They breaking stadium records or something. I mean, I don't really know. I just been hearing what's being said. But I heard that he's supposedly getting like 100,000 people or 90,000 or something. They had to add more seats. So I mean, ideally, you know what I'm saying, his buzz
Hey
is as
man,
big as it's ever
that don't mean
been
nothing about no
where
gate.
it's supposed to be.
Yeah, I mean, but
Right,
that
right,
don't mean
right.
nothing
Yeah,
about gate, man. You know
I
how
know
it is.
that. I know. I'm just. that ain't their thing over there though. You know, their thing over there ain't the big gates. It's the attendance. You know, it's the packing out the arena, George Groves and Carl Froch. You know what I'm saying? That's their thing over there.
Yeah, you're right. That was a significant fight. But I think, like I said, at the end of the day, them bringing up, as far as Tank, the thing that I gotta give Tank the greatest of knowledge for is he's been, regardless, like people want to talk shit about man, he put fights in Atlanta. To me, it was so disheartening because I don't know if Wilder even ever fight again because he pretty much got a lot of things going now. It's like it's no way in the world because I live in this area. I live like 45 minutes from Atlanta. Like for them not to have fights down there, there's a significantly black population down this area that has money. And you, like I said, so Tank addressing that, being in Baltimore, he's tapping a resource where, like you guys, if you do the numbers, I just seen it now where they talk about the consumption of media. The movie industry is alive right now because of black dollars. Like their reason that the movie theaters are still open is because black people show up. We spend our money in these theaters. We turn things $1 billion movies. It's from us. Like they know it statistically. That's why all these movies that come out the last year where the cast is mainly black. So you got to address that thing. You got to get people involved, and so but you got to have a certain level of charisma with you as well. And
hold on, let me piggyback on what you saying though, while I still got it in my head. That what you saying right there, you might be describing why Tank need to keep his ass with Mayweather. Mayweather is probably the only promoter that fully understands promoting the fighter to the urban community. These old ass white dudes and shit, bro, them motherfuckers ain't understanding that. It's a good chance if he wasn't with Mayweather, he might not have been fighting in Atlanta and targeting these type of areas. Mayweather understands this shit. Hell, he done said it himself. He didn't want to be with Bob Arum anymore because Bob Arum refused to promote him to the urban community. And you describing how Tank has been taking advantage of that. And who is he with? He been with Mayweather. Mayweather's probably the architect of this shit. So you might need to keep his ass where he at, man. The grass ain't always green on the other side.
Yeah, I believe that too. He should stay over there because if you think about it, that last fight that Mayweather had, that was a actual fight when he fought Berto. He got 600,000 off the muscle, and that's black people. That's all black people audience. He was fully aware of that, regardless what stupid stuff he said when he wasn't fighting anymore, or how people feel about this, that, and the third. Mayweather was huge because he was heavy in our community, and he understood that. The reason why he got guys like Charlo with a ceiling getting booed in their hometown is because they say stupid shit. They don't understand about catering to the audience to look just like you first. Then you drag everybody else in as haters because that's really what it was. Those people that weren't black were haters. They wanted to see him lose to somebody that wasn't, that's what it was about. But he understood that. Let me get all the black people behind me, and then I'll build some guys that they're from other cultures, and I'll make them look nice, and then I'll fight them and get all the money. But then I still have my base when I decide to just take a fight that everybody knows that I'm going to win, and I still make 600,000 pay-per-view buys.
Hey, peace to Pecos Bill, man. He said he better go grab some grub. We'll get with you, OG.
Yeah, drop us some beats when you leave the building.
Peace out, bro.
All day, all day, all day. Eric R. response said, I hear you. You can argue that Earl crossed over with the Mexican fan base. He has a lot of Mexican fans in Texas. He do. With his style. They look at him as having like a Mexican style type of approach to boxing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but Texas got some weird kind of intricacy that a lot of places in the country don't have. It's a very mixed type of community, It's different, they don't have the same type of politics like other areas. So you could appeal to both sides in like a place like that. I could see that very happen. Like, maybe like a New York fighter could do that where he wouldn't have a distinct audience. But for the majority of people, that's just not going to work.
Yeah, California too.
Yeah, I look at Texas as like the California of the South. Like I had a situation in the gym one time. I done told the story before, but it might be some people that ain't heard it. But like the gym that I went to, like that I did most of my work in, was a Mexican gym. You know what I'm saying? Like the people that like was my partners, they were Mexicans, a lot of them. We went to school together and shit. I would leave school with them and go to the track and shit and go run. Like we was cool, you know what I'm saying? So we go to Oak Cliff Boxing Club for sparring one day. I actually wasn't sparring. I don't remember what the fuck I had going on, but I wasn't sparring that day. I was just going to go watch and support. And when we got there, Oak Cliff Boxing Club is a black gym. So when I get there, I see guys that I recognize. So, you know, we dapping each other up and all that shit. I'm just sitting up there watching the proceeding. And then our main guy, Miracle, Mexican, he get in the ring with this dude. I don't know his name, but I call him Little Sugar Ray because he looked like Sugar Ray Leonard. And he got a messed up leg. He grew so fast that it fucked his knee up. You know what I'm saying? So but he a good fighter though. He get in the ring with Miracle, they going at it. Americo hit him with a right hand, and the dude fell and fucked his knee up. But the whole time they were sparring, Americo was also arguing with his brother that was outside the ring because his brother talking shit. So when his brother get dropped, he want to get revenge for his brother. So he go put his gear on and get in the ring, and him and Americo start going at it. Americo putting them paws on him, putting them bees on him. Dropped his little brother. But when he dropped him, he started kicking him. Kicking him in the head, kicking him in the ass. So when he done that, everybody crashed into the motherfucking ring. Talking about Mexicans against black people and all that kind of shit. I don't know what the fuck to do. I'm stuck in the middle. I don't roll with the Mexicans, but at the same time, I don't want to fight my black brothers. So I'm sitting up there just looking like a damn fool with my arms in my shirt because I don't really know what to do. You know what I'm saying? So that just show you them lines can get kind of blurry in somewhere like Texas. I'm cool with the Mexicans. I ain't about to be fighting against them. But at the same time, I'm not about to be helping them fight my black brothers. You know what I'm saying?
At the end of the day, it was just you was with a crew and they came in wrecking shop in somebody else's shop and you just like, oh, well, no, we got to stand up for the shop. You can't just come here whooping ass and kicking niggas like damn. First you beat up the big brother, then you beat up the little brother that's bigger than the big brother. Now you can't just be doing too much. That's you doing too much. That's like that Hakeem Rockman shit. You know what I mean? When the brothers was in there squabbling at the Mayweather gym. That's just how it is, man.
You know what came to my mind when you said that? Now, what if you would have helped the brothers, and they would have left you? You definitely ain't going to get in the car with the Mexican at the turn your back on you, right? And then them brothers, and now you got to walk home because them brothers ain't even gonna care how the fuck you get home. You know what I'm saying?
And it's a long walk from Oak Cliff to Garland.
You feel what I'm saying? But that's just how our people are. You know what I'm saying? Like you ain't got that mentality, but you were doing what was right, and end up getting left by your ride for sticking with your people, even though they were wrong or right. And now them motherfuckers left you hanging. Man, I don't know how you gonna get home, brother. You know what I'm saying? Every car leaving.
Where you gonna practice boxing after that? Shit.
Yeah, and then where you go what gym you gonna go to after that? Like that's a fucked up position, bro. Like you know what I'm saying? It'd be different if you knew what the fuck the outcome would be. You know what I mean? But you never know, man. Messing with ours, cause we ain't got that culture, man. It's about who we like.
Hey, Diggy, I would say the odds of what you saying are very high. That if I would have helped the brothers and got left by the Mexicans, I would have had to find a ride home.
Oh man, very. I put money on the outcome, nigga. You would have been at that gym, nigga, till about 11, 12 o'clock, so you got to ride.
Hey, that's an easier decision
that was when
nowadays, bro.
Somebody got off work, nigga. Moms or uncle got off work.
Yep, I was about to say I called my mama, nigga.
Yeah. And then the last
you would have got questioned the whole time. How'd you get your ass out there?
Yeah.
What you mean you need a ride?
Shit crazy, man. Out here. And people don't never think about the dynamics, though. That's why it's important to hold your circle accountable, man. Don't be critiquing other motherfuckers. Critique the motherfucker you know what I'm saying, you fuck with, because he represents you, you know what I'm saying? And I don't mean critique, I mean if a motherfucker wrong. Motherfucker wrong. And that was one of the positions Trey was in. Be like, you know what I'm saying? You was wrong for kicking him while he was down. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So I ain't finna help your motherfucker, man.
Yeah, that motherfucker shouldn't have done that shit. I mean, the brother was going hard though. I ain't gonna lie. When he was outside that ring, he was going hard in that bitch. When his big brother was in the ring, he had America hot as a motherfucker. Matter of fact, I have never seen America act like that. before then or after then. He had never done nothing like that before. So, and he really good, like just a cool guy. You know what I'm saying? He's a nice guy. So he had to really have gotten under his skin to do that shit. But nigga, all hell broke out when he done that shit. I'm talking about the whole ring was full of motherfuckers that fighting in that bitch. They ain't even had no room to operate. Like they literally looked like they was all fighting in the phone booth. You know what I'm saying?
So what side won?
I couldn't really tell who was winning. It was just so much fighting going on. You know what I'm saying? But it looked like both sides was giving and getting. Is giving and getting pretty evenly.
Ain't no winners in them situations, bro.
I guarantee you, there's a lot of wrestling.
Yep, grappling and shit.
Hey, it seems like when the gloves come off, boxers start to wrestle. Like when you seen that brawl in the Mayweather gym, first thing they did was grab him, try to take a motherfucker down, UFC style.
Yeah. I remember I tried to pull my arms out my shirt, nigga. My shit just got stuck. I just said, man, fuck it, man. I ain't about to do shit. My first thought was to pull your arms out your shirt, nigga. You know what I'm saying? I had snatched my shit like I was gonna pull them out. Then I realized that my shit was in in a position that I couldn't pull them out easily. I just said, man, fuck.
Go sit your ass down.
Hey, I seen that one brother. He a professional fighter too. Some dude, some nigga was in a casino getting at him crazy, talking reckless and shit, and he didn't know who he was talking to. And dude squared up. Like first he didn't want to fight him, but old boy said something reckless, and the boxing nigga took his shirt off. And then the old boy was like, first he tried to walk off, and he was like, "No, nigga, you gonna talk all that shit? Come on." Old boy tried to get down, and nigga slipped that nigga shit and slept him straight out. The whole casino was like they was at a real fight. Old boy act like he won a championship. I told that nigga he didn't want none of this. I'm a professional motherfucking fighter. And that nigga said, my Instagram is so-and-so. Look me up. I'm a professional motherfucking fighter. I said this nigga. That shit was cold as a motherfucker. Oh, look, Derek said he saw that. Hey, you remember that shit? I was like, that's what a motherfucker get. You never know who you fuck with. Old boy was humble at first, y'all. He was like, I'm gang bang. Next thing you know, he said something that made that nigga mad, made him snap like your boy Americo. And that nigga was like, fuck it. And then as soon as they exchanged, and he caught him with a counter. Slapped his ass. That nigga act like he won a championship. 18-0. He's like 18-0. Professional motherfucker.
That's D-Lo's mic. Yeah,
I was just in the same. He talking about the dude that was a real professional fighter.
Yeah,
but
dark skin brother.
Yeah, hey, at least he handled himself like 18-0 instead of like Ryan Garcia when he was on the beach with that dude and tried to square up.
Hey, you have to get your audio tightened up.
Yeah, your audio is disrupting the whole show. You sound like Darth Vader over there.
Yeah.
Luke.
It ain't even just when they talking.
He ain't even lying though, because when I was talking, he did sound like Darth Vader, like.
Hey, I had a question I wanted to ask.
Look at this nigga, man.
Hey, man,
you gonna have to go on somewhere, bro.
Yeah.
Square Billy, you can't even be on the panel like that, my nigga. Nigga, that's too crazy. You know what I'm saying?
I thought I was at a heavy metal concert. What the fuck? You need to do something immediately.
Square Billy, I don't even what the hell caused that, man?
Nigga said, Luke, I am your father. Derek Bailey said, dude was on the ground like a dead body for real, man. He put that dude out. And then them girls that was recording it and shit, he was all in their camera. Look me up on Instagram. I'm so-and-so. Yeah.
Hey, do y'all remember that video when Rocky Lockridge knocked that nigga out in front of the stove?
No, I ain't get to see that.
Yeah, man, look that shit up whenever you get a chance, man. You know, Rocky Lockridge, he former champion. He had beat Roger Mayweather back in the day. And this dude was talking shit to him. Matter of fact, Rocky Lockridge is the one that did that ugliest cry ever when he was like, yeah, but he But this was when he was a little bit younger. He was standing in front of, I think it might have been like a liquor store or something. Dude was talking shit. Rocky Locker was kind of sharp out there too, you know what I'm saying? Had the shirt tucked in, kind of, you know, dressed up a little bit, had the hat on. Motherfucker was sitting up there talking shit. Yeah, I'm talking about like a just straight jab right hand. And that motherfucker was out of there.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Motherfucker was sleep out there fucking around with the champ. You know what I'm saying? So like you said, you never know who you fucking with. Yeah, he had on red.
Yeah, I had a question I wanted to ask the panel earlier, man, but I ain't want to interrupt the Spence and Crawford talks. But given how your Dennis Ugas performed under the pressure of Earl Spence, how y'all feel like he would have fared in that fight against Stanionis?
The way Stanionis had that jab working, bro, and Ugas in the orthodox stance, and he's so squared up, I think Stanionis probably would have fucked him up. You know what I'm saying? The jab, then left hook to the body. I think he would have got pieced up out there pretty bad.
Yeah, because I remember they wanted him to fight. Was it the winner, him and Butayev, before he fought Spence or something?
And I said it going in that he was not gonna come out of that with his belts. I swear to God, because these guys got amateur background, bro. One of them 392-8, that was Butayev, and this guy Stanionis was 141-19, and I respected that. And I just know that at Ugas' age, going against somebody like these guys who are in their prime, they both in their 20s. I just didn't see him coming out of there with that belt, bro. And looking at, and you're right, looking at Stanionis against Butayev, that was kind of eye-opening a little bit, like a breakout party. I think that would have been bad news for Ugas.
Yeah, that damn Stanionis is busy, man.
Yeah, that was a good pick for me. I knew a lot of people were going the other way, but Stanionis, I was like, he got that.
I made him back.
Yeah, dang, man. God damn. Go back to the Death Star, homie.
Not the Death Star, though.
Hey, goes Bill said, Chase, you said that. That's a little better.
Scared to say something.
It ain't making that noise because when you was coming out mute, not even saying nothing, it was making that noise. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, use the force, homie. You'll be all right.
I thought you about to say something though. What you?
Oh yeah. I didn't know I was off mute, man. No, I was just trying to see how the audio was. I was making some changes. I was just trying to make sure everything was good.
Okay. Hyphy say Stanionis remind him of P-Roll. In a sense, he has the rhythm of an American fighter. Okay. I don't know if I really see P-Roll. I have to go back and watch some old school P-Roll. I thought he was like a taller, longer type fighter than Stanionis.
He was. He not like Stanionis, more stocky.
Yeah, plus PR was a little bit more economical with his punch selection. He just knew how to catch.
Hey, I almost took Stanionis though when I saw him at the weigh-in because he just looked so much stronger than Butayev. Butayev looked like he was a little weaker than his last fight against Jamal James when I looked at him at the weigh-in. And that motherfucker Stanionis looked like he was like very strong.
He was ready. He looked ready. That stare down because I wasn't sure. Like I literally flipped a coin on that fight, and I was like, I'm gonna go with Stanionis. I had seen recent work with him, even though that last fight ended abruptly. But when I saw them at the weigh-in, I was like, yeah, he got it.
It crossed my mind because I was like, for this type of fight, that's probably gonna be in a phone booth. It might be advantageous to have that build like Stanionis. I just didn't know his jab was gonna be looking the way it looked. That's what caught me by surprise, and that's what caught Butayev by surprise as well.
Yeah, Cat real defensively responsible too to be so active.
Yeah, he keep his hands up good, and it's hard to get a clean shot on a clean head shot. You hit him on high on the head. He don't let you hit him square in the face, and that was giving Butayev some problems because he kept on coming over the top with shots instead of coming underneath with uppercut type shots. He would throw them from time to time, but he wasn't consistent enough with it for me. He was coming over the top a little too much.
Yeah, he wasn't. It wasn't like he was aware that you were fighting a shorter fighter. Like you need to come with something up under. And he like you said, kept going over the top, trying to hook that shot over the top, and it was just like he was able to block that easy. So it was just like not gonna work out for you.
Yeah, that was a breakout party for Stanionis. L-Dub, I had scrolled up and saw that one time it said that Stanionis say he willing to, well, he might be willing to take some step aside money or something. So that's good news for the Spence and Crawford fight.
I don't think he got no choice. Ain't nobody worrying about him.
He under the same banner. They are not gonna look. If you guys really look at these last 2 weekends, man, PBC done put a lot of showcasing on these. So they setting the table for future fights. So he don't have to get the next shot. They already said like, dude, you already you're gonna get a shot in here at some point in time. But don't mess up this money right here. Just wait
Put
for
him
your
in there
time.
with Boots. Put him in there with Boots, man. Boots go out there and whoop Clayton.
Thurman too.
Thurman too. Yeah.
Who went there with Boots? Stanionis?
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be a good ass fight though.
That's gonna really tell you a lot. Whoever comes out of the fight, he's gonna own the division for the next 3 or 4 years, potentially. So yeah, that would be a good match. I don't know that's the type of fight that the young dudes need to be having. Is Boots under PBC or is he under something else?
Nah, he's not under PBC.
I have no idea, but I do know Stanionis.
Is my audio still good?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Boots with Cameron Duncan like Brandon Lee. You know what I'm saying? They ain't signed with the PBC. They just got to deal with Showtime.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So that's still in the same. They still all in the same arena, so it's easy to make some of those fights. I mean, because I think it's about time for Boots to have everybody talking about him. I think it's time for that significant fight where a prospect contender fully elevates to a number one guy. So yeah, a good fight like that would definitely prove it for either one of them, and then you can just everything else will be dispelled. Nobody can use any of the little BS modern day excuses they like to use for when a young fighter steps up.
Hey, did y'all pick Cody Crowley to beat
Riverside Rocky?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I guess I was the only clown that did. But
just call. Hey, next time, just call me. I'll help you with your pick.
No sir, absolutely not. Yeah, I mean, I was thinking about that too. They got Cody Crowley. You know what I'm saying? The Riverside Rocky Cody Crowley could have been somebody they were lining up to be Boots' next fight after the fight he got coming up. You know what I'm saying? If he get past Clayton, which he should. Because I think those guys are in the IBF ranking as well. Or at least they were.
Hey, Cody Crowley, that motherfucker that we said was sorry as hell, that Kudra, the Abdulkakarov, the dude that got the robbery victory. No, it ain't the same guy. I thought that was. I'm thinking about somebody else, man. But I do know that motherfucker weak as well water though. Me and D-Lo both said that. And Cody Crowley went out there and beat him, but he got that deep amateur background and shit. So Crowley can fight a little bit.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I was I was impressed by how he went out there and handled his business against Abdulkakarov. You know what I'm saying? And Abdulkakarov, he had to have felt like that was a safe fight because he had been Spencer's mandatory for a while, so he pretty much had a IBF title shot in the bag. So he wasn't gonna take anything. Theoretically, you won't think he would take anything that he saw as a risk, and he went out there and got beat.
That got his ass towed up. I ate crow on that shit too because I had picked up Dukarov on the Channel Ross. Hey, bro, what time you want to shut this shit down?
Shit, I'm ready. I was just waiting.
Yeah, Marlo ready. I could tell.
All right, man. The Kane deals. You want to go first?
Yeah, man. Shit, I ain't got shit to say next person.
At least you ain't eating nothing this time. Goddamn.
Hey, that was me with the pizza earlier, though.
Yeah. Social scientists, man.
What'd you say?
I was just saying, everybody subscribe to for the people who watch this video later on who ain't to subscribe to social science.
Oh yeah, man. I'm plotting my channel, man. I'm gonna have some videos up here soon, but I'm just plotting my attack right now.
Hey, I thought about you not that long ago as far as making videos and having a channel, because you got like some talent and shit, man. You should go ahead and fuck with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. I'm trying to figure some shit out. I got my little broadcaster voice on tap.
Yeah. Hey, King of the Kinfolk, what about you?
Yeah, man. Appreciate it again. Enjoy the fight. Just yeah. Speaking on that note, you guys about that, man. I just gotta tell you, I got a lot of respect for y'all to hold these down because making these videos is a lot of work. It ain't just about talking. It's really some effort you got to
Real
put in.
shit.
So appreciate the forum again, man. Love the corner as usual.
Man, you know what? I'm so glad that you said forum, bro. Because ever since we've been doing YouTube, it's certain shit that people say that fucking trigger me now, nigga. I'm gonna sound like one of them snowflakes. I get triggered like when people say platform. Nigga, I hate that fucking word now. Because we've been doing YouTube for a while now, and it seems like it's always some mark ass motherfucker. Yeah, man, you got your platform, man, your platform. I just get tired of hearing that shit. And it's another one that get me hot when I hear tap in. Yeah, man, tap in, man, we tapping in, man, tap in. I be thinking, nigga, shut the fuck up, nigga. I get tired of hearing that whole ass shit.
Hey, why you don't
I
like the
swear to God,
platform designation,
I
bro?
can't stand platform. The first person to say the word platform to me on YouTube is a mark ass motherfucker. Me and Marlo can't stand him, man. I ain't gonna say his name, but we don't like him. You know what I mean? Your platform, man. We appreciate you. Let me come on your platform. Like, nigga, shut the fuck up. I can't stand that word. So thank you for form, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? Square business. What about the voice of reason? What you think, bro? What you want to say
Nah,
on this?
I ain't the voice of reason this week. Is last shall be first. But anyway,
Oh, the last shall be. I'm just not getting that. I didn't
What you
even
trying to
get
hate?
that.
What you hating, bro?
No.
Hey, you see, no,
No,
you
he
see
got
this
last.
thumbnail. You see
He
this
got
thumbnail with Spence versus Bud in it, and then he changed his name. I caught that early. I just didn't say that.
no. Well, he got dead last on the channel Ross, and I was over there fucking with him on his channel. So now he come back talking about the last shall be first. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not getting that shit. Go
but
ahead, though,
yeah,
bro.
but I feel you on that though, man. I think there's a lot of words I feel like people overuse. I think culture's overused. I think platforms overused. And a lot of other things, man. So I feel you on that. I get irked about stuff like that too. I be feeling like something wrong with me because I let stuff like that bother me. But anyway, man, I appreciate y'all having me on the panel, man. It's always a joy. You know what I'm saying? It's good to be able to come in here and chop it up with somebody else and, get other takes on things and get my stuff shot down or, scrutinized or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm on my channel just talking, ain't nobody saying nothing back. It's just me running my mouth and what I say is what
Knock
it
it
is, you know
off.
what I'm saying? So I definitely appreciate, being able to dialogue, go back and forth with somebody, man. And you know what I'm saying? I think so I done come a long way on this YouTube, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of it got to do with my interaction with y'all and, coming over here and learning from y'all and, you know what I'm saying? And just getting more comfortable at, what I'm saying, coming over here doing what it is that I try to do on a consistent basis or as much as I can. So I appreciate it a whole lot, man. And, so I catch the next ones if I can. If not, I'll be in the chat or catching the replay.
Hey, man, I appreciate you not sounding angry last time I came to your live stream. D-Lo, the only motherfucker that do a live stream, and he sound mad when you show up. I come through with a big salute to D-Lo, the voice of reason. Salute to Trey X, man. What's up, man? I'm like, God damn, what's wrong with this nigga? I thought we were friends. This nigga D-Lo crazy as a motherfucker, but it's the first time I came through. He was all, yo, what's up to my boy Trey X or something like that. You know what I'm saying? That nigga
I was
sound mad
driving.
when you go
Hey,
through his shit.
it was different too because I was driving. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't sitting up in my little office shot with the door shut. You know what I'm saying? Cramped up in there. I was driving on the road, so you know what I'm saying. The whole tenor was a little bit different, but I try to be a little more hospitable.
Motherfucker be
Unwelcome
breathing.
support.
What's up, Trey? Interrupting my monologue and shit.
He breathing hard. What's up, Trey?
Come on
Like,
in
God
and
damn,
close
what's
the
wrong
goddamn
with
door.
this
Yeah.
nigga?
Got that.
Get on here and wipe your feet.
You here
Quit letting them
again?
flies in.
Yeah.
We definitely appreciate everybody coming through, man. Appreciate y'all getting on the panel with us and shit. We're gonna come back with something, man. I don't know what's going on this weekend, man. What you gonna do? DeCane, you gonna order that pay-per-view?
Which one? That
The
the
Tyson
damn
Fury
Canelo?
shit?
I mean,
You ain't
that's a
you,
pay-per-view.
hell yeah, that shit. So that answered that question. So
Hey,
We
ain't
yeah.
it
going.
at like
We
4
going.
o'clock our time or something?
What'd you say?
Ain't it like in the middle of the day for us?
It might be. Oh yeah, it's in the UK, right?
Hell
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, that shit in the UK, man. So yeah,
Hell no, man.
ain't nobody gonna. I don't need fights early in the day, nigga. I'm prime time with my shit. Whenever I try to call fights in the daytime, I always do a terrible job. So I don't like calling fights early in the day.
Yeah, I'm a
Catch me
stream.
at 7. What'd you say?
I'm a stream now, brother.
Yeah. So I don't know what's gonna go on this weekend, man. We definitely gonna come back with something on that Shakur Stevenson fight, though. You know what I'm saying? But
Trivia this week, Trey.
well, shit, man, my goddamn back been fucked up, man. It's been kind of hard for me to sit down long enough to get all this shit together. And plus, I've been trying to get back in the books and shit, so I need a little bit more time. You know what I'm saying? But I do got some questions, but I want to have a little bit more because I only got like 15 of them whole. But they ain't just your average everyday questions though, because I've been studying different fighters like James Ward, the fighter I told y'all about, and also been studying John Perry and stuff a little bit more, so we can have some more information about fighters like that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna have something together for you here soon though. But like man, we're gonna come back with something. I don't know when it's gonna be or what it's gonna be looking like. Marlo working on the video. I got some shit that I've been working on too. We got a new episode of Uncle Nephew that's gonna be coming out pretty soon too. So man, just be on the lookout for the content. We're gonna try to come with something nifty on 50s, like what C-Mac be saying, you know what I'm saying, and have some fun with the shit. But I ain't gonna talk you out of death, man. Salute to everybody. Much love to you.
Well, your sauce, salute, fam. Yeah, y'all already know, man. It's always fun chopping it up with you, man. Hey, D-Lo, you know you already welcome anytime, bro. But we try to do this, man. If y'all start to get comfortable enough to want to get on, man. You ain't, as long as we know who you is, man, get on it. And, you ain't gotta.
Hey, hold on, my bad. Hey, salute to my 6'3" Amazon angel, Almond Brown. I ain't even know she was up in here. She talking about great
6'3".
loud guys. Yeah, salute to her. Y'all
Yeah,
subscribe to her channel.
yes, sir. Yeah, y'all can welcome to get on the panel anytime on Mondays, man. We do this to chop it up. You know what I'm saying? No, you ain't gotta share the same opinion. You know what I'm saying? Just all respect, all love, man. But like always, enjoy y'all time and opinions, man. Appreciate y'all for coming through, sharing with us. And until next time, don't forget to tell them there's some trolls. Fuck out my gym.
You heard him.
Peace.
Gee.